your everyday competition.
Pressure and he got that! Oh my God! Oh God! Not like this!
Welcome back to Twitch Rivals. What is up, chat? It's your boy Rain Day here alongside two of the best for this Survival Cup 3, JoJo Solos and Tokata, to call the action on what will be a momentous day. 3 days have gone by. It's put us halfway through the competition, but now begins the latter half, the half that has all of the stakes built into it. 100 and some odd players have survived up until now, but how many will be eliminated? Because after today, there's only 2 more days left, and day 6 is a 1v1. So I feel that the pressure is super on. It's going to be an exciting one. Survival Cup 3 has yet to disappoint, and I don't think today will change that offer. JoJo, how are we feeling about what could be the most momentous day of the tournament so far?
Oh man, you said it best yourself. The stakes are high. We're past that halfway point. I think everyone's going to start sort of looking at each other and realizing, oh no, I understand you're my friend, but also only one of us can win. And someone's going to have to start cutting those ties and making those really, really hard decisions.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? I mean, we have yesterday we had over 100 players halfway through the event. And, you know, if you're thinking halfway, we started with 200, now going down to 100. There's a little too many players. So I think that the mini games today are definitely going to be brutal.
I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. The truth is, if we eliminated the same amount of players in the first 3 days as we do in the next 3 days, we would not have 2 players left. We would have more than that. So something's got to give, okay? A little shout out to a nice little rom-com I love watching here in this holiday season. But let's jump into how this is going to work. Of course, the game format, for those who have not been involved in this tournament, runs the same every single day. We started with 200 players. And if you didn't catch yesterday's action, we have an update for you on how things will be transpiring today, because following those games, there was an in-depth investigation into various cheating allegations during the Chained Words game, the one where they were in the classroom and playing a game that felt like a crossword puzzle. Several borderline cases resulted in strong warnings to players. Notably, there is clear evidence that 2 individuals cheated in ways that affected the final results of the game. Unfortunately, these 2 players have been eliminated from Survival Cup 3. Based on scoring, the 2 teams that were eliminated during Changed Words may not have been eliminated if no cheating took place. So due to the mechanics of the upcoming game, in this instance, we are able to bring back those 10 eliminated players and eliminate 8 more overall during the next game. So in the scenario, the decision has been made that is most equitable to reinstate the 10 eliminated players for today's first game. That leaves us back to 122 players, JoJo, and we will continue as usual with about 2 games, maybe a little bit and change, heading into day 4.
That's right. Every single day we're going to have these 2 games and players will get eliminated. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because cheating is no fun. And I'm just glad that the admins were able to take care of that. And of course, we are getting prepared for that final game for our 1v1 on day 6 for the $100,000. Of course, only going to the last player standing. Now, the question is, which one of these players is going to go home with that $100,000? I'm not sure, but what I am sure of is we can see a lot of names crossed out here, Tokata. This is getting intense.
And I'm sure after today, there's going to be a lot more names crossed off. We've said it before, this first page, the big name that always stands out is Shadone, who got 2nd place in the previous Survival Cup. But there's still a lot of other big names, too, that can put up a fight. Sylvie has been playing incredibly well throughout these days. Sapnap did end up taking home the previous Survival Cup. And we even have players from the first Survival Cup competing, like Ollie Gamers at number 66, who took that one home. But there's still just so many names crossed out. It surprises me that we're only 3 days in.
I was just taken aback because I feel like this slide in specific has so many names crossed off. It's really starting to sort of settle. And I'm sure the players themselves are starting to realize, wait a minute, this is a lot less players than we started with. But yeah, no, looking into this slide as well, I see Foolish and Tubbo, which is actually one of the teams that we saw yesterday, sort of clutching up in the Chained Words game. CPK as well, one of the people we interviewed early on, who's still here. So thank goodness, right? Because he seemed pretty confident. Otherwise, I would be a little bit upset. But I don't know. There's so many more names here. Look, eyeballing Purpled, Chris Green. Some of these players are really, really strong. So the question is, how are the other participants going to sort of make their alliances to sort of battle these really, really strong players?
Great question, Jojo. Names like Los Futbolitos, who have survived some of the games like Lucky Coin at the very last second. And one of the battles that was for the ages in TwitchRivals history, not just Survival Cup history, of trying to get that final coin in. They're still alive. So all these little stories are coming to a head. But what will day 4 offer? That is certainly the question. There will be a moment that changes everything. But it's also time for that moment that is as good as gold. It's the State Farm Golden Khakis from our friends at State Farm, an official supporter of TwitchRivals. Whether in-game or in real life, State Farm is on your level. Now let's work together to reward other good neighbors in the TwitchRivals community. First, we'll need you to answer a quick poll to choose the category for today's Golden Khakis Award. And at the end of the show, you'll help pick the winner of today's State Farm Golden Khakis trophy. Let's see what they are. So if you remember this segment, we had 4 different ones a couple of days ago. These are some new awards to be given, so you'll decide which ones they are. We've got Most Surprising Neighbor, which will be awarded to the neighbor who made an unexpected comeback after a difficult setback. We've got Most Inspirational Neighbor, awarded to the neighbor who inspired others with their determination and their resilience. There's also Most Elusive Neighbor, awarded to the neighbor who was the hardest to catch or defeat in the competitions. And there's the Most Emotional Neighbor, awarded to the neighbor whose reaction to being eliminated showed the most raw emotion. Oh God, all of these options, but you guys have to choose as well. Will you go for emotion? Will you go for elusive, inspirational, or surprising? Let us know. Vote in chat. The poll is open now. Jojo, Tokata, what do we got? I'm going to ask you first, Tokata. What do you want to see chat vote for?
Look, I want to see a surprising neighbor, okay? I want to see these players surprised at the mini games right when they are announced. These ones are going to be crucial for the competition. We talked about it. There's too many players alive right now. We need to start, chopping some of them down so we can continue until that final player is left. So I think we are going to get a lot of surprises today.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm an empath, all right? I want to see the most emotional neighbor. I think we saw some crazy things happen yesterday. Some players who literally physically got shaky and just completely locking in and trying their absolute best to not get eliminated, especially when you know that you're in that back bit. You don't want to get eliminated. So I want to see something like that.
You also get to see those pop-offs, right? There's an emotion there. This one, though, is awarded to the raw emotion of being eliminated. So we'll see if chat decided to go your way, Jojo, Takata, or maybe a different way. Let's see what the results are. You've chosen the most surprising neighbor. So awarded to the neighbor who made an unexpected comeback after a difficult setback. And I guess for a guy like me who loves competition, I do love the underdog story. If you ever played Smite, my whole thing was F7. So never give up and never stop gaming. Let's do it. Come on now. Keep your eyes out for during today's event because you'll be voting for that Golden Khakis winner at the end of the show. So stay golden. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I love when State Farm gets involved and we get these Golden Khakis because, guys, it makes for an amazing moment that we get to have iconically living in the TwitchRivals game sphere. And so this is going to be a fun one as well. And surprising neighbor, now we're looking for the comeback story, Jojo. So that, if you're talking about SB yesterday, which was that pop-off, that clip might have won if it was to be awarded today.
I mean, it was that, but it was also emotional. So I guess that kind of gives me a little bit of the win there, right? I'll take what I can get. But yeah, no, I mean, surprise. I know that a lot of what we see here, we don't get to see every single perspective. So that's why I also love this segment, because we also get to see some clips of things we didn't get to see the full scope of. So I'm excited to see who wins that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to also Tokata see, what emotion comes through because JoJo's been talking about it. They didn't choose it in chat, but it's certainly going to be a big part of today's theme. Emotion will run heavy.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely going to be, I don't know if positive, negative emotions. If you think on yesterday, we had 2 team modes, right? Teams of 5 grouped together, grouped up with a lot of friends. But if we get more team modes today, I don't know if we're going to repeat the same kind of theory of that friendly teamwork, right? Maybe there'll be more opportunities for betrayal. And will that actually happen? I'm not sure, but it would be kind of exciting and emotional to see.
Listen, I'm a fan of Seinfeld. I don't want to get into sitcom battles right now, but I grew up loving a little bit of Seinfeld. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, I'm a fan of Friends. Great, be a fan of Friends. But you can't be a fan of Friends in Survival Cup for too much longer because it's got to end at some point. Only one person can win this thing. So Friends, just like the show, had to have a final season. I think we have to have a final season, JoJo, as much as you are an empath of the friendly game here as well. But we're just wondering, will it be day 4 or will 5 to do that?
That's a great question. I mean, I've been wondering it myself, especially as someone who watched all of Survival Cup 2. You start seeing it kind of happen early on for some people. Others kind of strategize to cut those ties later on. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see. As we mentioned, we don't fully know what we're going to be seeing today in regards to the games, but I know for a fact that it's going to spruce up some drama.
Okay, well, I have someone else that I want to talk about. We've got so many great members in this community, and each day we get to highlight one. So now we have another interview with one of our players, Menos 13, coming in to talk a little bit about what today means for him. Hey, Menos 13, how you doing? ¿Qué pasa?
Good. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Bien, bien. ¿Cómo estáis?
Bien, bien, bien.
Todo bien.
So they'll help me translate a little bit. I can understand Spanish pretty well, but how are you feeling going into today? Day 4, it feels like it's the most crucial day to perform because it feels like a lot of eliminations are coming up. How do you feel going into day 4?
Yo creo que va a ser importante hoy porque, como dices, va a haber mucho eliminado. No descarto que haya alguna prueba de grupo donde la mitad de la gente caiga. Y porque ya es la recta final, mañana día 5 y luego la final, por lo que probablemente hoy caigan muchas personas. Sí. Va a ser importante.
Yeah, so he mentioned today is going to be a very important day because they've assuming that there's going to be a game where half of the players are going to be eliminated. So, I mean, you can already imagine the drama that's going to be transpiring from this. So let me ask him a question. I wanted to ask you, what are you doing to prepare for day 4? ¿Qué estás haciendo para prepararte para el día 4?
Nada, realmente estaba ahora jugando al Farming Simulator, estaba arando un campo preparado para plantarlo con algodón y nada, ahora empezaba la reunión y estamos en cola ya, así que a ver qué tal.
That's
Farming
really
Simulator?
Funny. Yeah, so Menos 13 said he's, been preparing playing Farming Simulator, so we'll see how that translates towards today. I'm going to ask Menos 13 how he's feeling regarding team modes based on yesterday and if he thinks today there might be some betrayals. Entonces, bueno, antes que nada, Menos 13, felicidades por llegar al día 4. Quiero preguntarte, ayer hubo muchos partidos de equipos, ¿sabes? Equipos de 5. Si hoy hay otro minijuego entre equipos, ¿vas a elegir pues compañeros con los que confías o igual gente que no conoces tanto porque puede haber igual traición?
Nuestro plan en principio es repetir equipo, porque la verdad es que ayer nos compenetramos muy bien, nos conocemos y fue bien. Pasa que creemos que probablemente hoy, basado en los iconos que hay en las paredes de las habitaciones, queremos hacer una partida por equipos más grandes, probablemente de 10 en vez de 5. En ese caso habrá que buscar más gente que se venga, así que tendremos que buscar bien compañeros. Pero en principio el plan es repetir con los mismos, porque nos entendemos bien y creo que irá bien. Y a mí personalmente me gusta más en grupo porque le da como un dinamismo mejor. Es verdad que dependes de los demás, pero a la vez pues te puedes ayudar entre los demás, entonces está bien.
Sí, 100%. So Menos 13 was basically saying, well, one, he very likes group game modes with teammates, and his plan is to repeat with the same teammates as before, but he's thinking based on the icons on the wall that maybe it's going to be a little bit larger teams this time around, maybe 10 players or even more than previously. So he's going to have to find new teammates. Who he'll pick, though, is going to be the difficult aspect of that.
Well, I love the conversation. It's great to see it, and you got to give me a bit of a idea of Farming Simulator is worth the money. I was thinking about grabbing that as well. But now it's time for a segment presented by Mythwalker, the mobile geolocation fantasy RPG that uses real locations to tell stories of Earth's myths and legends. It's Myth or Meta, where we present a streamer with a popular myth about streaming, and we get to see if it's a myth or if it's a meta. And chat, you can weigh in too by voting in the poll in the extension now. So, Menos 13, the question is, gaming events and conventions are important for networking and exposure. Is that a myth, as in false, or is it meta, as in true?
¿Respondo? ¿O me espero a que la gente responda?
So, I'm gonna translate what the. Deja traduzo la pregunta en español y después puedes responderos. Bueno, si lo entendiste bien, puedes responder y después traduzco.
No, traduce, sí, así la gente también la oye.
Ok, pues sí. Para los que no entendieron la pregunta, es básicamente, ¿es importante ir a eventos o de gaming o bueno, convenciones de gaming para pues expandir tu como comunidad y sí, como networking en tema de el mundo pues de influencers de contenido y eso?
Mi opinión es que yo creo que sí que es importante, pero quizás no tanto como la gente cree. Porque al final yo creo que la clave de este mundo realmente es formar tu comunidad, tener tu base, tener tu gente. No tanto que te lleguen por eventos como este, que ya digo que sí que ayuda obviamente y demás, pero tienes que intentar, yo creo, crecer con lo que a ti te gusta y con lo que te sale de forma orgánica a ti. Eventos como este pueden ayudar a complementar, pero no son la base, para nada.
Okay, so basically what Menostre was saying is that it's very important to kind of do what feels right for you and what's the most organic way to kind of grow your community. And, you know, these events do help, but what's most important is just kind of organically, you know, do what works for you and what feels best.
Awesome. So that's interesting. It gives us a good opportunity to ask chat as well where they think that is myth or meta. But Menostre, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on making it so far. And good luck in day 4.
Thank you.
All right.
Ciao.
Thank you so
Buena
much,
suerte.
Menostre. Buena suerte indeed for playing along with Myth or Meta. We got to give a huge shout out to him. And of course, presented by Mythwalker with a cast of magical characters, deep quest combat and progression systems, and the chance to really party with co-op mode. Mythwalker is the global RPG for everyone. Discover more and sign up for the closed beta right now at mythwalker.com. Okay, chat, we asked you the question into poll. Is it myth or is it meta? Let's see what you had to say about the answer. And you chose 50-50. Oh my God.
What?
How is that even possible? We didn't rig this. Chat, I don't know. It just, maybe you're just in sync with Mythwalker right now. So head over to mythwalker.com and download the beta.
50-50 is insane.
That is insane.
That is crazy. This is the first time I've ever seen a 50-50 in a poll like this.
Yeah.
You know,
That's unbelievable.
it is kind of putting into numbers what I was thinking, because I was also thinking, yes, it's important, but it's also not as important as some people may think. I've had, you know, the privilege to go to TwitchCons and had the ability to sort of network and talk to people, but at the same time, some people are just there for vibes. You know, sometimes it's not for networking. We're just here to hang out with friends. So the 50-50 totally makes sense.
Yeah, and if you're meeting people, you know, Tokata, right? If you're meeting people and having good vibes, I mean, that's kind of networking in itself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say I'm on the same boat. You know, it's kind of situational. It depends. It will help, but it's also a great opportunity to just meet up with people. And, you know, if you want to do, like Menostre was saying, your kind of own organic way of just staying with your community and going back and forth with them, like that's a solid way to grow as well. It's not a need, but it is a good addition to do.
That certainly seems the case. And, you know, having been to TwitchCon and done a few moments where I was working like with Apex on one of the bigger shows and doing it live, you could see, you know, when the community of a game you're really about comes together, there is a lot of power. And it's not just in what happens with your actual stream. I kind of want to help people understand too, as a streamer, and you may not know this, you get pretty invigorated after coming back from one of those. And it's not necessarily just, you know, the fact that, oh, I met this really popular streamer and now I get to, you know, collab with them. It's like you get inspired, you get excited, you get involved with people who are doing the same things that you're doing. And Jojo, you know, as an empath yourself, I mean, it's got to feel good when you have an opportunity to be surrounded by like-minded individuals, even if, you know, you don't necessarily do a ton of streams together. Just being in that presence makes you get a little bit of a lift heading back into your stream, and it gives you something very excited to kind of look towards again, and your community to look towards.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I know every time I come back from any Twitch cons I've been to, I have so much motivation to just grind it out, keep, collaborating with my friends, doing my thing, or just regularly streaming. It's just so much fun. You get to feel that community. When you see your fans face to face, you realize who you're doing it for and why you're doing it. And that motivation just sparks during a TwitchCon and after it as well.
All right, well, chat, it's time for Guessing with Duncan, where you have the chance to win big. Check out the polling widget in the extension, make your predictions, and watch your name shoot up the leaderboard. The top 10 finishers get $10 Duncan and Twitch gift cards. Also, the first place winner claims the awesome new co-branded Duncan and Twitch Rivals jersey. Send me one, Duncan. Send me one, Twitch Rivals, please. I just need one before Tokata gets one, okay? Enter exclamation point Duncan for the full rules. Cast your prediction now. And you know what? Tokata should get one before me. I'll get the second one. Let's both get one. How about that?
You know, it's fine. We can all three of us get one. Why not? Get some Dunkin' jerseys, get some coffee, some donuts. This would be a good way to, warm up for day 4, day 5, day 6. I'm just saying, putting it out there.
That's
just
right.
A suggestion. Nothing
As
more.
long as I get the first donut, I'm fine with anything.
That's what I was saying. I don't know how many donuts we're getting, man. With JoJo around, she's already called the donut delivery. So I'm just going for the jersey. I'm just that coin is taken in the lucky coin game. I'm going for my own somewhere else. That is so funny. It also brings up, what will we be doing today? Chat, any ideas on the games that we'll be playing today? Do you agree with Menosfeste's kind of thought that we will have a game that eliminates half the lobby? Oh boy.
I mean, he did say based on, the icons on the wall that he was looking at is where he got those assumptions to, I think this is going to be a team mode of more than just 5 people, right? This is going to be a bigger team mode. So maybe we'll get to see those icons once again once we load into the match. But I don't know. Anything could really happen, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what we saw sort of in Survival Cup 2. I know that once we start getting to day 4 and day 5, we see majority of the eliminations then, because day 6 is really when it comes down to that 1v1. I believe there is one more mini game that sort of happens to really cut it down to that final face off.
Okay.
But it's not going to be that many. It's not. We're not going to be seeing 40 people down to 1. We may see maybe 10 down to 2 and then the final face off. So yeah, I mean, I think Menosfeste was completely correct in that assumption.
I mean, I'm a little nervous for all of our competitors as well, because you've gone so far. You have really made it halfway through. This is an accomplishment in itself. But now you still have so much more to do in order to win. You've still got more than half the lobby still involved. Really making it, I think, past day 4, guys, is where you probably have to start thinking, I got a chance. I actually have a chance here, but we'll find out how that transpires. More info on the games, more discussion about what's to come, and maybe a couple of highlights and recaps from yesterday in just a moment on the other side of this. But hey, chat, while you're waiting to watch some more amazing gameplay, our friends at Honda want to give you a chance to play right in chat with 2 super fun games. Thank you, Honda. One is a classic memory game where 2 of every image are hidden under the squares. As a team, you'll collectively decide which 2 squares to reveal, and the goal is to match all of the images before time runs out. The second game is a maze, where you get to drive the Honda Prologue SUV through that maze. You must collect the Twitch Rivals V, then find your way out on the other side before time expires. Remember, chat, you gotta work together. So good luck and have fun. Our friends are here to empower you, chat. Honda is bringing you closer to the show than ever before with our Charged Up Chat feature. The best creative commentary from chat and social media, guess what? It'll be featured on the show. So join in with us. Join the conversation. Send us your best memes, fire one-liners on social media. You can find us at TwitchRivals or use the hashtag ChargedUpChat, and you might see your comments featured live on the show today. Plus, Honda has made an awesome exclusive follower emote that you can use by following /TwitchRivals and typing TWR Honda to let it fly. Honda offers a full line of clean, safe, fun, and connected vehicles. Their all-new, fully electric 2024 Prologue SUV features a timeless exterior, a tech-rich cabin, and generous passenger and cargo space. The Prologue is the perfect vehicle for weekend getaways and everyday drives. All right, well, it's time to get this thing rolling. Yes, day 1, 2, and 3 have given us so much to talk about, but day 4 is on the horizon. And Jojo, I want to kind of lead into where your eyes are going today. Just as real top over, your analysis. We've got 3 days in the books. We've got certain players kind of standing out, from Hannah to Sylvie to Purple to things we followed, CPK. Both of you, where are your eyes going here as we narrow towards game 4? Is it about a certain player? Is it about a certain competition that you think, a certain amount of eliminations? What draws your attention here as we start getting ready to go into the competition?
I like looking at people like Menos 13 and Hannah XX Rose, who have been staring at the icons on the walls and sort of trying to analyze it themselves, because I think they're in the best position, right? They're playing through these games. They've studied up. They kind of know what's going on. So hearing what they have to say, I think it's what's going to be most important, but also seeing how they play, knowing that maybe there's going to be another team game. Are they going to start sort of looking at their teammates and saying, hey, maybe I won't take care of you that much. I'll take care of you, but like if something really bad happens, like I'm not going to, help you out.
Yeah. Look,
So,
when
God,
I'm
what about
playing, it's a different mindset than when I'm watching, right? When I'm playing,
That's
I'll
true.
be a little
That's
safe.
true.
I don't want these crazy things to happen. But now, as a spectator myself, I want to see the betrayal. I want to see the chaos. I want to see all of it unfold today. I want more of those team game modes, but this time, maybe not necessarily one where you work together and maybe even against each other. That's something that I think would be exciting to watch.
Ditto. I love the idea of them not working together, having to kind of throw this alliance out the window and kind of start looking at the game from an individual level yet again. But it will be hard to do that. Hannah Rose, great story, has put herself in a position to have a lot of friends, maybe friends that could have been enemies, coldified. Not only that, hosting him yesterday, sending the 25 gifted subs. I mean, you got a lot of different things happening here. Hannah shouting out her teammates, Foolish, that she's been working with, as well as Tubbo. There's a lot of different dynamics there and different players playing this game to be involved and stay safe. But will that end up working out? I certainly hope so. Sylvie as well, another player that we've kept an eye on for the first 3 days. She was one of the first players we watched, now is still in day 4. She's tried to keep it right in the middle of the conversation, so she's not to really make any feathers ruffle. And then also Purple, who's brought in a lot of good energy. We talked to him yesterday as well. He's willing to do what it takes to win, but as you get to it, will he be grouped up with the likes of Tubbo and that energy and that infectious energy, the moment of it's golf ringing in my head as well as they found it, guys. I don't know, but we're very, very close, Jojo, to kicking this thing off.
Yeah, that clip in particular, them finding that final word, it was just so epic. I mean, I got goosebumps. I was laughing. It was such a good watch. It's not like they were in any danger of losing, but seeing people who are ahead and seeing their brains sort of figure out the riddle as they go. I think it was Hannah or someone who said goal, and then Foolish was like, golf, and then everyone started screaming golf. You just love to see that unfold. And of course, if we do happen to have another team game today, I'm very curious to see, are these teams going to stick together? We know that Menos 13 was mentioning that's what he's aiming to do. Maybe look for more people if it calls for it, if the minigame calls for it. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of things could develop today.
Yeah. I mean, Tokata, even if you have the same teammates, maybe putting some eggs in different baskets in case you do have a group game and half of your squad, your alliance, they go out in that game. You might want to have a position to be able to quickly team up with some other players that you've already talked to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what Menos Trece was saying regarding, you know, he had his original team and he says, okay, if it's another team mode, I'm going to stick with that team. But it's very likely that we're going to have to make some additions, right? Maybe another 5 players will have to join. So in that case, I'm thinking in my mind, you know, do you want to add another 5 players that you're friends with, that you trust, or maybe add another 5 players that you wouldn't mind going up against, as potentially a mini game could be similar to that. So I don't know. I'm wondering what I would end up doing. I don't even know. Jojo, what would you do in that situation?
I don't know. I mean, personally, I'd stick to my team that I've already had if I made it this far. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I would. I'd stick to that same team and sort of hear what everyone has to say. Although I try to be a team leader sometimes, I usually lead by sort of asking my teammates where their heads are at. I want to see how they're feeling, if they're feeling comfortable with something. And if they're not feeling it, then, you know, they have free will. They can do whatever they want. But, you know, just kind of basing some opinions off of what they're thinking. At least that's how I would lean. I'm not sure if it's the right or wrong thing to do. Of course, we'll find out today if the minigames require actual teamwork or betrayal. But I don't know. That's just one of the many questions that sort of are up in the air, and we don't really get an answer until the day is over.
I do love the assumption we have to make when talking about this, that we would have made it this far in this game. Like, yeah, in the final 1v1, I probably, you know, would. It's like, hey, man, there's no reason for you to be doing that hypothetical, Rain. You're not going to be in the final 1v1. There's like no chance that would happen. But I do love that we at least talk about it in that way. And I think I like your point too, Jojo, because it's truly about trust. Do you go with the people that you trust? And do you assume that the trust will be broken? Do you break it first? Do you willingly become the sacrificial lamb in the situation where you know someone's got to go and you don't want to turn on your friends? Is this bigger than the game they're playing in Minecraft? Will real relationships have a little bit of tension, or will everyone realize it's just a game? A game has $100,000 on the line. It's very, very hard to tell. And of course, as the players continue to get ready, it means that day 4 is right around the corner. All of the upsets, the excitement, the mystery, Tokata, it is about to unfold.
Oh yeah, 6 days of competition, 3 down, another 3 to go. Grand prize of $100,000, which a single player will receive. We've seen a lot of emotion throughout these days, and I'm sure that today specifically is going to have a little extra.
There's no doubt in my mind. And yes, Jojo, it certainly seems like stakes are high.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about it now that we're past that halfway point. Everyone's thinking about that $100,000 and just sort of looking at each other and thinking about what they're going to do. I personally would just kind of start reflecting on Survival Cup 2, but now we're just going to dive in to the dorm. Let's see what we've got for day 4.
Will that $100,000 become a reality? It's getting closer now as we look at the piggy bank and begin day number 4.
Wow. What a
Intense.
dramatic start.
That
Set the tone.
I'm noticing something. Are you noticing that too? the bedroom
Oh,
level height per se
Oh,
I didn't even
has
notice that.
decreased a little. If
They've
I'm
removed
not,
a couple beds.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, there's some bunk beds that are not here anymore.
I guess that reflects the amount of players that we have unfortunately lost throughout the event. But at the same time, I'm sure all of these players are starting to feel a little bit excited because as the numbers sort of shrink around them, they start to realize that maybe they have a better chance at winning the event.
Maybe a bit better, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. Still over 100 players up, so you know
That's
the
right.
pressure will continue to go on, but I think these players can start truly getting a taste of that potential prize. Maybe
Oh,
day
yeah.
4, day 5, or day
That's
5, day
right.
6.
So
As we
these
take a
are
look
like
at
the
Hannah,
symbols
who
that
has
are on the
been
cookies,
exceptional at
right?
guessing these mini games, so I kind of want to listen
You guys
in
know
and see what
okay,
her
here's my
thoughts might be
prediction.
for
I need to
today.
vote literally
That's
the
right.
entire game.
yeah, she's predicting it right here. Let's listen.
Disable voice chat. This page up.
100% prediction rate.
So my prediction for this game, it's either TNT tag like on Hypixel where you hit someone, it's like hot potato, or it's like last time. There was a big team game where you had to get the eggs, right? But in the trailer there was a sandbox little area, and there were 2 teams, red and blue. So I think it's one team versus another team, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams, and then they all like go against each other in some sort of game, mini game, capture the flag, team deathmatch, like something like that. But I don't know. I think that's what it's probably going to be, or TNT tag. And then this one, it's probably going to be. Is 121 divisible by 8? Probably not, and they're probably going to do a night. Okay. This. Do you see those at the top? Those little bars? I feel like that's what we're going to be walking on. I feel like it's not. This is like a. What's the right word? Red herring? Is that like literary? Like this is a fake. Like it's they're trying to make us think it's like it was last time, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be tug of war. I think it's going to be something on a tightrope, and then using their WASD space and arrow keys to be part of some weird rhythm game. That's what I think this is probably going to be. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm.
What an
That's what I think.
interesting
That is my prediction.
sort
for
of
today.
decipher of what the games will be today.
The breakdown. That's interesting though, because based on the previous mini games, it is true that they have been kind of going above and beyond previous mini games, having, you know, things like the blueprint on mini games that have been played, but then a lot of additions to how they're actually played out. And as Hannah mentioned previously in the Survival Cup, we've had that tug of war type game. So I like the kind of tightrope balancing version of that. She thinks it could potentially be.
That would be very interesting to see as well in Survival Cup, because a lot of players think that it all just comes down to raw Minecraft skill, but if it comes down to game mechanics that aren't really in vanilla Minecraft, then it's kind of just up for everyone. Anyone could win and anyone could get eliminated at that point.
Yeah, it makes it quite terrifying, to be fair, for a lot of these players, as I think they know that today is going to be a big one, having, as you can see, 121 remaining players of 200, and we're halfway through the event. I'd say it's almost guaranteed that a significant amount of players are going to be going down today.
That's right. I'm predicting we're going to see double digits today of remaining players. We're going to be dipping under 100 by the end of the day.
Ooh. I agree. But how much below 100 is my question?
I
even
guess maybe 60. That would be like my final number.
That would be a lot, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's about half of what we got left.
I guess. if half of what we got left goes down, this is going to be potentially heartbreaking or also exciting
That's
day,
right.
depending on who you're supporting.
Yeah, but I don't know. So the symbols on the side, that umbrella.
Tubbo maybe has an idea of what this could be as well. As you
I
can
think
see, Hannah's
Hannah's,
close by.
yeah, Hannah's sort of given down her breakdown, her idea to her teammates, Purpled, Foolish, Tubbo. Not sure where Filza is, but I'm sure they'll
Guys, I think I'm
relay
gonna
the
make this
information
tricky. Like,
as well.
This is a lot to take.
I might choose.
Some
Tubbo
people
overwhelmed?
reacting to the potential cookie
Overwhelmed.
game.
Let's choose the fish. Team fish. Okay, sorry for being so
Fishy
analytical. I'll stop.
It's okay.
No,
'cause
it's fine. Me and Foolish to gaff about $100,000.
Yeah, bro, we get it.
Okay, let's go. Oh my god.
Well, no, then we should keep you in.
High
so then
fives from a lot of the teams that succeeded yesterday. I mean, if you think about it, everybody here basically has had a successful team run, so the vibes are matched throughout
You don't get it.
the whole bedroom here, the whole main room.
That's
I'm
right.
just
You
wondering.
can tell everybody here is quite happy that they're here.
Yeah, 100%. I just wonder if some people will maybe try and switch their teams, even though they had so much success yesterday. Will they kind of change it up this time around?
That's right. As we are spectating Menos 13 here with having a little conversation with Farfadox here. Potentially, I believe this is one of his allies. As they're having conversations of, sort of what happened yesterday and what could potentially be today.
Yeah. You know, someone who's been staying down low, you can see to the right, you don't see the name, but that's Luzu, based on his Minecraft skin, if I'm taking the guess. And Luzu made it very far in the first Survival Cup. Ollie Gamers was actually the one that betrayed Luzu in those final moments. So, seeing that he's still up here, haven't seen him kind of, stand out a lot in terms of noise or just, making a name for himself in the room. So I'm curious
you
if he's going to
think-
be kind of that silent but deadly player this time around again.
Yeah, it was actually making me wonder, since Ollie was the one to betray him in the first place, do you think that there's a chance
Oh,
we'll see the vice versa of that in today's Survival Cup?
well, as you can see, Ollie's no longer in this kind of circle, so Luzu's learned from
So someone's
the
holding a
past
grudge.
on who to team up with, but maybe Luzu now will take that kind of fire inside him and maybe potentially betray one of his own teammates if it comes down to it.
That's right. I mean, you learn the hard way, right? If it costs you the first Survival Cup because you trusted someone for too long, how does that sort of make you act as you come back for Survival Cup 3?
Yeah. What's interesting is Luzu actually has a regular Minecraft skin, but he has one called Evil Luzu, and he has his evil skin on right now. So
Oh no.
I don't think he's here to make friends. I think anything can happen in the Survival Cup, so you've got to prepare for the rest.
That's right. Oh, facing Ollie Gamers? Or does he walk away? Oh, he's listening in on Ollie.
Needs a bit of info on his opponents here.
Just doing a little run by. That's funny. Seems like Luzu is looking for someone right now. Which you'd think it'd be easier to find given there's, 79 less people in the event.
I'm listening on what Renrise is saying. She's talking about some sort of therapy between the team here. Get them prepared for what's to come. I always like this part of the day where all the players, regroup. How's your sleep? How's your morning? How you feeling? But then right as that first game starts, it's almost just silence.
That's right. You can hear them chuckling, having a good time. Oh, we'll see how they're looking later.
Giulia Mucci, psicóloga y jugadora de Minecraft. O sea,
They're saying there's a psychologist and Minecraft player in this group, Julia.
Oh, perfect. So the therapy session is real then.
So this is why we got a big group going here. Licensed psychologist in Minecraft.
Eso es, pues imagínate que es hacer un Simba. Sexualmente hablando.
I wonder how many, like I was mentioning earlier, of these players are gonna, you know, maybe join a new group this time around. Menestrete was saying that this could be a bigger team mode, so you are gonna have to find new allies.
That's right. That is indeed what it comes down to. If there is going to be bigger teams today, are you going to find those alliances with people you trust?
That's the main question, right? And how long can you trust them? One thing is trusting them, but two is, you know, there's like levels to that trust. Right now, it's not too hard to not break someone's trust, right? But as time goes on, all the gamers in Luzu lasted till that last day, the last night. It was just a handful of players in the lobby, and that's when you know, like, one elimination could significantly increase your odds of taking home that grand prize, and, you know, the odds of also breaking the trust are a lot higher. So, you know, maybe there's like levels to it.
Absolutely.
And there's certain people that you can trust longer.
Oh, for sure. We can see actually Hannah's group here sort of talking to CPK, maybe sort of extending their hand saying, hey, if there does happen to be a bigger, you know, sort of team game, maybe we can work together, question mark?
I don't know, guys. I think I'd definitely shift to nowhere. I'd do exactly what they're doing. I'd basically keep the same lineup. I think that would be the best way to go about it, honestly, because I would just feel better being forced to turn against my alliance because of a game versus kind of going against them now because maybe we'd have to turn against each other. I just feel like I'd rather the game decide that that was the case.
That's completely fair.
I agree. Do you think a potential nighttime might come around too? I mean, Hannah was talking about it, trying to see, you know, is there an even amount of players? Is there not?
There is always that chance, yeah.
That's true.
There's not as many bunk beds, so these players, you know, have less places to hide now.
This is true.
As it's a lot more empty.
It would be interesting. Oh, we're getting a guard's POV right now.
Are you serious? Look at this.
Okay. I hear Elded, Comanche, and Westgall right now, who are hacking the mainframe. Infiltrated guards.
How did they do
in the
this?
Game Master's station.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to see if maybe they can get themselves back into the game. Comanche saying, we gotta go. They can find us. We have to move.
What was that line of red?
They're trying to not get caught here.
They gotta quietly move through these hallways. These are crazy walls, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so dark.
They're saying this is the kind of Game Master's room. A big boss.
The big guy. You don't want to mess with the big guy.
Definitely not. Especially in a survival cup.
Player 160
Players cannot be trusted. So we'll have to see. It's so empty now. The
it does feel
bank
so
looking
empty.
Larger.
Whew.
Pasen y repórtense, pasen y repórtense. Ok, la normal. Voy yo primero. Ok, repórtense con el jefe. Dígale hola, buenas.
Jugador 54 eliminado.
Saying that they have to go in and report themselves.
Oh, is that the... What room is that? Oh, they're
Time
all
to go in for
working.
work. Yeah. Seems like those are the computers that the guards use to sort of spectate all the different players.
I'm trying to listen to what... Trying to listen to what their game plan is here. Kumash is trying to show him this area. So this is the behind the scenes.
Oh, that's oh my
that's the
gosh.
This could be their
See
chance.
the money.
Jump into the piggy bank.
And then what? What's the plan after that?
That's all you need. Swim in a pool of money. He's saying, don't jump, you'll die. Imagine you jump and miss the piggy bank.
Oh boy.
And just land in the participants' floor.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't think jumping into a big pile of money would be that comfortable. I feel like it would still hurt.
That's true.
Oh no. They're going through the vent system, it seems, to sort of transport around different areas of the map.
Ya escucho a los participantes.
I can hear the participants. He's saying.
Oh, this goes to the bathroom?
Oh, does that mean the participants could potentially sneak up from the bathroom?
They're saying they don't fit. Oh, they were able to figure it out.
Oh, wait. It seems they can change their outfits to participants.
Vamos con los jugadores. Nosotros somos participantes que siempre hemos estado ahí, siempre con ellos, ¿ok?
They're infiltrated participants? Come on, just saying we've always been participants. Let's just go as nothing happened. We've been here the whole time. I had a great time, playing. Let's just, role play that. We're all good. We've been here the whole time.
Yeah, we're in the bathroom.
They were just using the bathroom.
Yeah. Just in the bathroom, that's all.
Oh no, someone accidentally became the guard there.
Forgot to change his outfit. This is not a very professional stealth mission. There we go. They'll never know. Not suspicious at all.
Atención. El juego está por comenzar. Todos los jugadores sigan las instrucciones y procedan a la sala de juego.
Mention that the game will begin soon, as all the players are requested now to move forwards to the game room.
That's
The
right.
door will open here.
Door swings open, and I don't think anyone has noticed that there were 3 players just waiting outside of that door.
Players, please
Wow.
follow the staff.
I don't think so.
Me perdí, gracias. Silvi,
We'll see if... I wonder what would happen if, some of the participants now went to the bathroom and tried going up the van.
That's if they know that it's there, right?
Attention players,
would have to
please
be.
follow the staff.
It would be quite insane if someone discovered that.
Julia, our psychiatrist, our therapist here of Survival Cup 3.
The certified Survival Cup psychiatrist for the players. There's a lot of emotion that goes into these matches. Sometimes you lose teammates. Sometimes you make new ones.
Doing some breathing exercises. That's how we know she's a
Julia
pro.
is scared.
Of course, they are yet to be told the instructions for the next game, so I'm sure everyone is feeling a little bit, sort of on edge, at the edge of their seats, kind of sweating.
Yeah.
About to find out if they're going to be working with their friends, working alone, if they're going to be in any sort of potential danger if it comes down to certain Minecraft skills that maybe they're not super proficient in.
Mm-hmm.
Even the elevator, compared to day one, how packed it was with 200 players, after just losing the amount we've had in these first 3 days, it's looking full, obviously, but definitely more empty.
That's right. Feels like they can breathe a little bit more.
It's like a whole mod pack. There's a lot of shit.
Purpled POV.
And Yeah, you need to play the event client 100%. Swear
One of
Pompeo was
the
in like a Carl video once.
very experienced Minecraft players of the group. As everybody continues to have their conversations here. And maybe even theorize what's up to come.
Mario, si de repente le 10 o algo, ocupamos a tus amigos tryhards.
Agreed. So glad we're on the same page.
If we kill him, though,
I'm trying to look around to see if I can find Comanche, Westcall, or Elded, which were the 3 infiltrated participants here. I don't know.
I'm sure they're trying to blend in. Maybe they're blending in a little too well. Lights go out as the elevator is moving up and down. I guess this confirms that as of right now, we don't have any sort of night game mode, right? So we're going straight into our first game of the day.
How much did you increase it by?
It's like 9,000.
Does seem so. We have seen night happen after games already finished, though, so they're not safe for the whole day.
That's right.
As I see Loser now approaching Hannah's group. Quackity getting a little aggressive towards Rubius. You can already see there's a little bit of friendly banter back and forth.
You'll love to see
with
it.
A lot of the players that are still up.
You love to see that people can still smile even after seeing a lot of other players get eliminated. The classical music.
What happens if, a player falls off while going up those? Like, they're pretty high up. Oh, it looks like we already have a sneak peek at the next game.
One of the 4 teams is going to get eliminated. It's going to be some bullshit ass RNG stuff. Where's the fish?
We'll see.
Purple making some assumptions here. Now we're going to find out whether he is right or wrong.
No matter how good I play. Awesome. Well, Hannah.
That is the difficult part about T game modes, right? You have to not only be experienced at Minecraft, but experienced at leading a team if you want to increase your ads.
Like it's just like
You've got to kind of lead your team as much as possible.
No, I don't know.
You can see some people making assumptions and sort of relating it back to Survival Cup 2, where they were split up into teams and needed to gather eggs for the team, which was a very stressful minigame to watch, by the way. It had a lot of colors. It actually, I understand why they are relating it, because the map is kind of similar in regards to the color scheme. So maybe we are going to see something like that. But of course, here we have this top-down view. It very much does seem like there's going to be a split of 4, whether it's 4 teams, or maybe they have to gather some sort of resources and access different corners of the map. Of course, we don't fully know the instructions of the game just yet, but as all the players are filtering in and making sure that they don't have any issues, we will get those game instructions soon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like these are the type of games now where trust is crucial. We've had previous team modes of 5 members per team, full on teamwork, but now these are the type of game modes that maybe enemies will be made. Sylvie's talking about something to do with a team in Spanish.
Asking please.
Yeah. All right. Why should we let you join our team?
Dang.
You know, it's interesting that they're already sort of forming teams, but we don't even know if it's a team game yet.
We don't. Also, how do they know if, Sylvie doesn't come in? She might be the one that makes their team actually win whatever game it is. You don't know what you're going to be needed for. So maybe some diversity of someone who can't roll their R might actually be valuable. You never know.
You never really know. What we do know is there's multiple colors in this room, which normally mean multiple teams. If there's 4 colors, you naturally assume that's 4 different teams. But, you know, this is the 3rd Survival Cup. The Game Masters don't want to make it easy for these participants to, you know, get a head start advantage and kind of guess what might be next. So I'm sure there's going to be a twist to it.
That's absolutely right.
Out on play right now is assuming it's like the hot potato game where a player will have a bomb. You'll have to go up to another player, smack them, the bomb will go to them, and at a certain point, all the bombs will explode. That's similar to a game we had in Survival Cup 2. Out on play as that is his prediction.
That is actually a pretty interesting prediction as well, because even though the ground floor is very open and doesn't really give a lot of options for escape, as you climb up in these different corners of the map, it seems like there are a few parkour jumps and sort of, you know, there how you see how he just fell, you know, maybe there is some sort of parkour aspect that is required of this next game. And, you know, so some of our very good movement players might persevere.
Before you begin, select one of the doors located in the room.
Ooh.
Line up to receive your game kit.
Okay, so the players have the option to select the door. I don't know if the game kit is different depending on what door you choose.
Shall
But we
find
will
out soon here.
momentarily, yeah.
The door is open and yet they still can't go in, so they're just pushing each other out, which is really funny. Oh, I see. No, so you get your kit right at the front there, so you can actually see some people already walking away with their kits. Here we have Filza having a chat with Tubbo and Foolish about what in the world this could potentially be that they're holding. They have a vest on as well.
Yeah, we're all bombed up.
Line up at one of the doors to get your game kit.
Uh-oh, some instructions here.
So
This is killing me.
they're not fan that they have bombs strapped to them, which is a very valid reaction.
That's a good story. That's a good story.
It's a good story. I'll piss myself for you, Foolish. I'll make my bed.
So it could be a sort of kind of bomb tag game, but everybody has a bomb, which is interesting.
Piss energy.
I don't know how that would work necessarily.
The fuck is this, man? Fuck. Is it like this? It's a tablet, right? Look,
Maybe
it's got,
everyone
like,
has a
scanner
bomb,
on
but
it.
just a certain player will get that bomb activated, a certain number of them,
It says one time
based on something to do with the map. You said it yourself, Jojo. There is a lot of kind of like parkour areas and jumps that kind of hints at the fact that maybe you'll have to run around and escape your opponent.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you have to like select it. You have to select it in the inventory.
and put it in offhand. Yeah, you can offhand it.
No.
What is one time colon tablet? What is one time?
Maybe like it. Maybe it right clicks. You right click it once and then it like changes and shows you where stuff is.
No, but it's the mod is called one time.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe this is going to be a sort of scavenger hunt type game where they have to look for something and use their panel on it. Seems like the players are evenly spread out throughout the map. So hopefully we're going to be getting instructions.
Here we go.
Oh, good timing.
Guards always like to take their time here before
Welcome to the seventh
showcasing
game.
it.
The game is called This Trick Can Only Be Done Once. You'll need to defuse the bomb before the countdown on the panel reaches 0. On the bomb panel, you'll find instructions on how to solve each module. It is important that you follow these instructions carefully. During each exercise, you'll need to check the icons on the back of other players. These icons will change every time the global countdown reaches 0. When you solve each model of the bomb, you must validate your data with the red button located on the panel. Players who fail to defuse the bomb before the counter on the panel reaches 0, or make 3 mistakes while trying to defuse the bomb, will be eliminated. Players who succeed in defusing the bomb will pass this phase.
Okay.
Wow. That was a lot of words.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
The bomb panel, press escape to exit. Follow the instructions on the panel and defuse the bomb before the player counter on the panel reaches 0.
Anna trying to read it and figure out what to do.
Player counter on the panel decrease is important. The shape of the player's backs will change every time the timer reaches 0. These shapes are necessary to follow the instructions. If you make 3 mistakes or the player counter reaches 0. Okay.
So it's basically a game of trust here.
Mm-hmm.
As I assume you won't be able to use your third-person view to see what actually is on your back. So it's going to be a game of, can you trust the player you're talking to correctly help you identify what you need to defuse the bomb.
That's right. You can see as the players are sort of carefully reading all the instructions, because it could cost you your game if you miss even one instruction. We saw it yesterday where some people were using the wrong click on the bell.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was until a little bit later where they figured, oh, it's the other click. That very well could be something that completely eliminates someone's game.
Every time
You're
a
absolutely
player
right.
defuses a bomb as well, the player counter on the panel does decrease. So it is a kind of timed game as well, where you want to do it quicker than your opponents, but you have to do it quicker than your opponents and also trust your opponents. So
That's right. As we heard Mamelor here mentioning, they're not really understanding the instructions, so they're just gonna go with the flow.
let's see what happens.
It's time to start the game. Follow the instructions. Of course, that is the primary thing about Survival Cup. If you don't follow instructions, you get eliminated.
Accedan al panel y resuelvan los desafíos de la interfaz para desactivar su bomba.
Access the panel and input the correct instructions, or I guess codes to deactivate your bomb.
So the icons on everyone's backs have changed. So now they need to talk to one another and tell each other what icon they have. If they say the wrong one, that could be a betrayal. But they could trust one another and say, this is what I got, this is what I see on your back, and commit to that.
As the stress begins now, you only have a certain amount of time before you can pick your icon. Was he lied to? Was he not?
You can see he wasn't lied to.
One was correct.
So the next instruction was to look for another player and write down their icon on the back of their, or sorry, on their back. So now it's a little bit of a struggle because you have to run around and look for a specific player. You can see calling out their name.
I'm trying to read it as well, and I wonder where they are. This is where
Here they are. Los Futbolitos, they were upstairs, which is a little bit of a troll.
Will they find them? As everybody begins to look for each other, screaming everybody's name that they have to hunt down. And it is timed. You can see at the top of the screen there is that timer of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
That's right. Oh, this is stressful. You can see as they're desperately looking for who they were assigned, which sounds like it is Soy Noni. Now we're watching Sylvie as she is getting a new challenge here.
I wonder who Sylvie is. I guess she's helping out some players here. Ollie Gamers.
Ollie Gamers has
is going to be the
passed.
first
He's
one
passed.
to pass.
That's huge.
That was fast.
Yeah, there's 5 different kind of missions to deactivate the bomb. Both, you know, finding other players and also having players trust you. So
that's
Ollie
right.
Gamers was quick to act. 2 players now have passed.
There's another one. Yeah.
There's only 25 seconds left until the instructions to defuse the bomb will change.
That's right.
A few players now have made it.
I thought it was. Oh my god! I thought it was. How many have it?
189.
Purpled has passed. Sylvie now receiving another challenge here. Oh no.
Oh no.
Tubbo getting one
potentially
wrong.
Lied to. So far, I haven't seen anyone lie to each other. Hannah passes, Garachev passes.
Wait, you lost? Wait, I only made one mistake. I only made 2 mistakes.
13.
Uh-oh.
Sounds
Oh,
like it
boy.
seems like we did lose one player. Someone failed. We see a lot of other players passing right now.
Yep.
Now to find out if Tubbo has another chance.
This is where the nerves increase. As you can see, the amount of people that are passing all at once. You can only make 3 mistakes. Tubbo might have.
I
done
actually just saw
exactly that.
Tubbo's name, yeah, in the chat saying that he did indeed pass. This one is a little bit tricky because it seems like you need to follow a sort of riddle here. That depending on what is on your back, you need to sort of make that decision. And Chris Green has been eliminated right next to
Wow.
Sylvie. I saw the confetti. Oh my gosh.
As I believe Sylvie's on the last question now. The clock's ticking. More and more people are passing. You can see the red
Sylvie has
number showing how
passed.
many are left. I don't
There
even
it
think
is.
this timer is going to go to 0 before the amount of people that pass do it.
You already passed, right?
Oh, you passed. You passed.
We see more players
more
getting
players.
eliminated. Player 110 and player 153.
Wow.
This is terrifying for the players that have yet to defuse their bomb.
It is indeed. There's still 50 seconds left on the clock to try to make it. Rubius
Oh,
still
Rubius is
trying to
not done
figure it
yet.
out.
20 players left. That can still pass. Once that reaches 0, even if the clock still has time on it, you won't be able to pass. But Rubius just passes now. Spreen passes as well. As we get closer and closer to those final 10 participants that will pass, and the rest will be eliminated. El Mariana now doing what he can to solve this last riddle.
Oh, ok, entiendo, güey. Entonces, si la figura en tu espalda, ¿qué, güey? Presionas 5 solo si tu número es... No. Si la figura en tu espalda es un ancla o un plus, solo si tu número
it's
es
kind of
par.
a
Yo soy
mix
50, no soy par. Entonces,
If you have even or odd player numbers, but also depending on what you have, 3 players left. He
No.
gets it incorrect.
Oh.
Oh no.
His last attempt. And Mariana has been eliminated. Robles, Hampeter, 2 players pass. I think there's only 1 left that can pass. And there it is, player 200.
There it is.
I believe that might just be the limit of players that can make it.
The timer is officially gone. That was a rush.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, there it is. is the big boom of everybody that didn't make it.
Ibai being one of the players eliminated.
Tragic.
Jugador 159 eliminado. Jugador 79 eliminado. Jugador
07.
65 eliminado.
Ibai
As he
is
says
going to
that,
go down.
he tried his best. All the names of our fallen friends. You can see some players sort of happy that they're here, stressed of what just happened. Wondering if that is the entire game.
I mean, what, 20 players at least were eliminated? So
that's right.
If that isn't the entire game, I am concerned with the amount of players that have already went down.
That's right. But you know, 102, that's not really a round number.
Imagine if there was a player just running around telling anyone who asked the wrong symbol on their back. Just the attempt to eliminate as many as possible.
I started actually panicking a little bit because I noticed you could hear other people, and if you just listen to the wrong person on accident, even that could be a big issue.
Oh, that's true. And if you're talking to someone that you can't really recognize their voice, maybe.
That's right.
That could be difficult.
Okay. That was scary.
Yeah, a little scary. A lot of trust involved in this. So sticking with the team you could trust seems to have worked, at least as of now. But who didn't help? I don't know if we have eyes on that. We obviously had a lot of players get eliminated, but was someone in there sabotaging? We don't know.
That's right.
I wonder.
Sylvie and Rizbar's here having a conversation.
And I was like, this is impossible.
Sylvie, in one of the challenges, thought that the challenge asked for how many players had a certain symbol, not realizing that the actual instruction was put any number of a player who has this symbol. So a little bit of a freak out moment there, but of course she ended up making it through, so no big deal there.
The calmness before the storm, as this is just one of the 2 mini games that will be played out today, at least, if there is a nighttime or not. So even though the excitement kind of begins now for these players that have passed, how long will it last?
That's right.
Oh no, she said.
Aw, Ollie Gamers feeling a little left out here.
As your friend to her, you know?
Oh.
No, it's me.
Well, no, Ollie, because
I'm kidding.
I'm new to this, to this scene. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, yeah, I'm very new.
Yeah. I was just joking. I was messing around.
I see. Oh, you
I'm
were
wondering,
farming.
Sylvie, I had a question for you.
Okay.
What's your team? Yes, una pregunta.
Oh, trying to see.
Intel.
Okay. Just want to know.
Are you guys enough fun?
All players have passed.
We're
This
100,
trick
so.
can only be done once.
Oh, look at that. We are down to 100 remaining players.
10 subs, thank you. Head for the exit.
And that was that
Move on
game.
to the next game.
Okay.
Oh, they
Wow.
I wonder.
Without me returning.
This is what I would have expected after yesterday, right? Day 3 concluded.
Going up there to
But now that
That's
we're at
right.
100 players in day 4, and there's one more mini game to go.
You see your back?
That's
That
a
is
number
right.
that we can do a lot of things with in regards to teams.
That's a very round number.
That is
very,
a very,
very pretty number.
yeah, very pretty number. But also a scary one for the situation that we're in.
That's right. Is it going to come down to another team game, or are we going to do another individual type game? We shall find out in a moment here. Of course, the players still need to return all of their kits and sort of head back into the lobby area.
Oh, some people are stuck.
Maybe they
It
got
seems
unstuck now.
we're following the staff back towards, I don't know if it's going to be the transitional room or the main game room once again, but these players will be ready now to get back. Bit of time to kind of breathe, focus up, and then get ready for the next mini game.
I know I'm trying to catch up on my breath after that. That was stressful.
That
Especially
was
those last
chaos.
moments, yeah.
That was just chaos, guys. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. Looking at the way that had to be played, Sylvie barely even reading the rules. You're feeling lucky to have escaped it. All I know, adrenaline, it's got to be at an all-time high. But guess what? They've got to do something with it now because another mini game is on the horizon. After this break, we'll talk about it. Welcome back to TwitchRivals Survival Cup 3. It's day 4, and here with me alongside Tokana, Jojo Solos, Rain Day here to get the action going. We've got 100 or so players now left to find their way through this gauntlet of opportunity. And I say that because at the end of it, there is $100,000 for one player, but they've got to get through everything. There is no mistake possible in terms of passing these games, and there is still a game left to play. That is what makes this so thrilling and what makes day 4 even scarier than the other days, because Jojo, we eliminated a few, but there's still an anticipation that 30, 40 more players might have to go in an upcoming game.
That's right. I mean, we had an interview earlier with Menos Trece, who was making an assumption based off the icon on the walls that there might be a game where half of the players disappear. So I'm anxious to see if that will be the case. But, you know, it's keeping me on my toes. That's the beauty of Survival Cup.
A lot of familiar faces have still passed, so we have more stories to follow. But chat, before we follow those, it's time to remind you that Guessing with Duncan has finished for today. Check out the Duncan leaderboard to see your placement. A friendly Twitch staff will reach out to confirm prizes for the top 10 scores. And don't worry, there's a new Twitch Rivals tomorrow that you'll be able to participate yet again in and have a chance to win that jersey or some cool Duncan and Twitch gift cards. And chat, when you want a satisfying meal for just $6, Duncan has just what you need. Try the new $6 meal deal and get a medium hot or iced coffee and a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich plus a side of hash browns for just $6. You got to take advantage of this offer while it lasts because Twitch Rivals runs on Duncan. Well, we are back here and basically midway through what usually marks kind of the halfway point of our show each day, which is one mini game gone, done, complete, and another mini game yet to come. Tokata, after seeing the frenzied start here in day 4, what are the expectations and the reactions of what has happened and what is to come with one more mini game still on the horizon?
Scary ones, Ryan. Very scary ones. We have exactly 100 players. I don't like that number, okay? In the Survival Cup, I do not like that number. I am not a fan. It is too even, too perfect for this cup. I believe we're going to have a lot of eliminations. And a lot of players are going to be going down in this next minigame.
Not to mention, that is the exact halfway point of the eliminations. I mean, you might have mentioned it, but 100 is half of 200, by the way. Quick maths right there.
No,
that's I mean, once we go back into the game and see how many people are left, we're gonna realize this is looking half as full as it used to be once upon a time. And here we are back in game with a timer counting down from 4 minutes 10 seconds until we get a little bit more information as to what the next game will be.
Yeah, really excited about what has happened so far from a broadcast perspective because it's given us a different pace to this game unlike any other. We've seen, you know, the nighttime kind of kick off yesterday. And the first couple of days, we saw a couple of those games and cinematics kind of, you know, extend themselves for maybe some of this ceremony that was involved. So a lot more kind of waiting and guessing as to what would happen. Now it feels like Tokata, they've just jumped into it. And now 4 minutes before they're back into another game, this feels like the fastest pace any of these players have ever had to come across in this.
Yeah, but it's a little suspicious, right? I think there's going to be a bit more to it, right? 3 minutes, 20 seconds. The thing is, no teams have even been picked yet if it is a team mode. If the case is that these 3 minutes and 15 seconds are until the next mini game, we're going to have a solo game. But if it's not, then maybe at that point, if we think back to yesterday, where you had to kind of pick a 5 names, I believe it was, on a piece of paper and then put it into the box at the middle of the map, that was kind of the preparation for the game. So I feel like we might have a preparation for this upcoming match. But if not, then it's gonna be an all-out brawl.
We are once again in this white room that brings a lot of, I don't know, weird emotions to me because it's too plain. It brings a little bit of fear within me, but I don't understand why it's so scary. It's just a white room, a plain white room.
It's the vibes around it, even the door being bigger than before. I don't know, I mentioned it before. That kind of door to the elevator, and now it's looking larger than yesterday. Why that is, I'm not sure. Maybe the players will have to split up in lines, split up in teams, even duos, who knows. But all I know is we've got some hype through Chocobar's team here.
That's right. Love to see all the different groups sort of forming here. Everyone just kind of trying to decompress from what just happened in that last game, seeing a lot of their friends sort of implode into confetti, and yet having to move forward as if nothing ever happened.
It's funny seeing all the little groups, like you said, like you can see the big group of people up at the top left. You have some people by the door. You have this group by Chocobars, but there are like not many kind of lone wolves. You could say everybody kind of has their pack that they're at least talking to.
That's right. I mean, the further we go into this, as we mentioned, we are down to the halfway point of the competition because of the amount of remaining players left. So making sure that you form the right alliances and sort of keeping certain potential enemies at arm's length would be important.
Are kind of talking about teams, you know, considering if we have a big team, what do we have to do?
It's good to have those contingencies at least discussed.
Only 30 seconds left before we hear more information of what is to come in our near future.
Listening to what they're saying, talking about the experienced Minecraft players versus the ones that might not play as much Minecraft. The good news is in the Survival Cup, it's a lot more than just Minecraft experience and skill. And in 3 seconds, we'll see what's going to matter most here. So I'm looking forward to see what the guards have to say.
I actually love that conversation we were just listening in on because he was talking about his keyboard and that it's an analog keyboard. And I love that. I love that for him because I also have an analog keyboard and I could nerd out and tell you everything about those, but I guess I won't because I'll probably put people to sleep. But that was wonderful to listen in on.
The key point I guess he was mentioning is you can kind of apply specific amounts of pressure to the keys, which can help out for certain game modes.
That's right. It seems like the gate has opened.
Here we go.
Okay, so each group should choose a line here. So they have to split up into groups and line up.
Ooh.
Groups of how many people? I'm wondering myself.
If I had to guess, it'd be maybe 10 groups of 10, just given that that would be the perfect even number. Now look at this build. This definitely completely represents the icon that we saw on the walls in the dorm room. So now the question is it going to be a game similar to what Hannah was guessing, where you sort of have to kind of walk the tightrope and hope for the best, or is this going to be a tug of war type game? Because I'm looking at that rope in the middle. You see with the I don't know what it's called, like the guillotine thing. Yeah.
Oh, this is terrifying. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with the Survival Cup, in previous iterations of this event, there has been a tug of war type game where a large amount of players will be faced off against each other in 2 teams. In a simple game of tug of war, the issue is if you are losing, you can see there is quite the fall below you, and this is always where a majority of the players tend to get eliminated. So if we're doing that once again, it means that we have 10 teams.
What do you think?
Wouldn't that mean that 5 teams
I agree.
of 10
what do you think this is?
get eliminated?
That's not what I mean.
You can see as Hannah and Purple here are trying to sort of decipher what the game is going to be based off what they are seeing right in front of them. Of course, they've split up into these groups of 10. We can see that because there is a number in front of the sign, in front of the player at the front. So there are 10 groups of 10.
I think it might just be, I don't even know if it would be for this game, but it could be a rhythm game.
Yeah, I guess one aspect to it is, you know, the potential tug of war, but it's how the tug of war actually works. How do you apply, you know, that pressure to pull the rope towards you? It could be, like Hannah's suggesting, a rhythm game where you have to time certain clicks maybe to a beat.
That would be cool.
Or it could be how fast you can press a certain button. There's so many kind of ways that this mini game could be played out, and you can see they're just trying to
For us, yay or nay?
think of what it might actually be.
Sometimes there's just no right answer. You just got to trust your gut.
Can you imagine?
Ultimately, it sort of comes down to the teams that you go up against, if that is the case here. Because your team may be a sort of jack of all trades. You can sort of do everything. You can see as the guards are instructing them to make sure that there are groups of 10. You cannot have more, you cannot have less. That would be cheating. But of course, trying to get that I guess sort of rivalry down. It comes down to, do you even get a choice of what team you go up against, right? Because if it's sort of random, it's kind of hard to make a strategy against it, right?
It really is.
Absolutely.
Kind of can make assumptions, like Hannah was saying, but it just truly is difficult. What I'm kind of getting shivers about is that, yeah, if our theories are correct, 50 players are going to be going home after this mini game. The most we've seen eliminated in a single day.
That's a big
that's
number.
Just terrifying, that thought.
Listening in.
Each other up.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? You got to commit to the opportunity that you have put yourself in, and you can't go in it with a bad attitude, because if you do, that could mean the elimination of your team.
All right.
As we
let's
dive
see.
into the instructions.
I wonder if this will tell us now how to actually play the mini game. Let's see.
Welcome to the 8th game. The game is called the rope. Each team must pull the rope and make the opposing team fall into the hole. Players who fall from the structure will be eliminated. The teams that manage to pull down the opposing team will pass this phase.
Oh.
Ouch.
Wow. There's only one special control. Right-click on the rope repeatedly as quickly as possible to pull it.
All
So, of
right.
course, to pull the rope, right-click as many times as possible among all team members. Important. While the opposing team pulls the rope, a force drags your team towards the center of the structure. Make sure to move back and position yourselves correctly while pulling the rope to avoid falling into the void. Wow.
Okay, so this is
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm taking
simple.
a look at the bottom there. It says the team that falls into the void will be eliminated, but if a player falls off the platform alone, they will also be eliminated. So we could have a lot more eliminations than we're anticipating. Of course, if you're placed near the front of that rope and you're sort of struggling to hold it back, whoever's up front could get eliminated. Meanwhile, the rest of the team stays thriving.
Right. If you were to win a 9 versus 10 after one of your teammates fall down, that would be quite a comeback. But like you said, one special control, click the rope as quickly as you possibly can. But what's curious to me, or interesting to me, is that they do talk about positioning yourself correctly. Maybe if the rope is as straight as possible, if you can communicate with all 10 players to keep it as straight as possible, it could help out. Or if you have people kind of going side to side, it's going to make it more difficult, or maybe even better for you. I wonder if that's part of the potential strategy that maybe players that go last will be able to learn on versus the players that go kind of blind into it first. So 13 seconds, and these players will start randomly getting selected to go against each
These
other.
are the scariest 5 seconds, because I'm sure every member that is still alive is starting to sweat a little bit. You can see the guards looking over all the contestants that are still left. I'm still loving the build. I think it just looks so menacing, so it adds to the drama.
Oh, it's scary. You can hear everybody kind of talking about put your sensitivity down, do this, do that. Do what you can to maximize the odds. I'm listening to the strats here.
Pablo, hacia el medio significa hacia la muerte. Te tira hacia el precipicio.
Yo creo que no, ¿eh?
Sí.
So they're trying to think, you know, do we stay at the middle? Do we... How do we kind of position ourselves on this rope to maximize our odds is what they're trying to discuss here. Do they have a choice of how much they can kind of like position themselves? I feel like, you know, naturally I think it is just going to be a line starting from the person closest to the guillotine for the way back, but it did say you could reposition yourself as you're pulling, so I wonder if that's specifically on the rope or maybe just side to side or how that works exactly.
That's right. It sounds like there are a lot more layers to this than we may have initially thought as they're talking through this strategy of positioning, not just in regards to where the players are based in regards to the rope, but maybe in regards to the entire platform.
Esto es aposta. Es para que estemos haciendo fuerza y tengamos que reposicionarnos. Para reposicionarnos, como en cada serie diferente, no sé si podemos seguir spameando o si no tenemos que hacerlo.
Okay, so what Rick Yedit is suggesting is that when you do, you know, press your one button to pull the rope, it's going to start pushing you forwards. And if you stop pressing it, then you'll have a chance to reposition yourself maybe and walk back a little bit. But you're going to have to time all 10 people to maybe start doing it to all reposition and then again, maybe half the team stops the reposition and the other half keeps clicking.
That's right. Sounds like...
That is a theory only.
Sounds like that's an interesting theory. You can see as this team is realizing that they're going to be up against a team that is actually difficult because they're realizing they're up against Team 10, which is the team that has Tubbo, Hannah, Foolish, Purpled, all of these really, really incredible players. But of course, we have some incredible players on this team as well. It just comes down to talking out their strategy and performing the best that they can.
Oh, that's going to be difficult. This is a great match to start it off.
Oh, man. I'm not kidding. If this team gets eliminated, I will cry. In real life. Real tears.
I'm listening to see it. Yeah, okay. Making sure that you're locking in and aiming correctly. To not just be clicking, you know, the air. You want to be actually pulling that rope.
No, it's okay.
As the nerves start kicking in, Hannah trying to relax the team.
It doesn't matter who we're good team or not.
It doesn't matter. We're just as good as them. We're just as good as them.
Yeah, no, we are better.
We actually are.
There we go. There we go.
The high hopes, the great leading from Hannah. We get a look at the opposing team here.
Saying
a few people upset that some people are being a bit pessimistic. You know, try to lock in, try to be positive.
Get high hopes.
Confidence is key in these sorts of competitions. As we get the cinematic of both teams officially in their elevators as they go up to the top of this tower to begin our 8th game, the rope.
This is scary. Even the elevator goes up slowly just to cause these players that much more stress. Oh, I really don't know.
Bring in that intensity.
We're gonna get to see here in the first match how the repositioning works. Can they kind of choose it beforehand? Is it something that happens during the match? What is the actual best strategy to give yourself good odds?
Tubbo making a reference to Purple doing a speed bridge, which is just a Minecraft term. You would think that maybe a skill like that would help in a competition like this, but alas, not so much. that is the beauty of Survival Cup, right? It's not just pure Minecraft skill. It's also strategizing, it's communicating, it's quick learning. There's a lot of layers.
A game that might seem so simple can actually be one of the most complex.
Probably not.
As we will find out shortly how the positioning aspect of this works. Save your muscles, your clicking muscles.
Save it.
These can last a while too, the back and forth. One aspect could just be stamina itself, as you're clicking as fast as you possibly can.
Make sure it's always clicking. Make sure nothing's in the way.
I feel like they're going to set our position.
I'm scared for these players.
Yeah, I think so. Who looking?
We have good people. We have good people. May the gooder people win. Do this.
The green screen on this is fantastic.
He's merged with the bridge to get more strength and pull that rope back. He has attached himself to the bridge. Gotta stay hydrated. Because I'm curious to see too what Hannah was saying is, you know, the guards will position the players automatically, and then it's just about movement.
That's right. Even I'm taking some deep breaths right now. This is intense. Even just waiting and the anticipation is building up on that drama, on the intensity of what is to come in this game. And of course, we're starting with a very interesting one, right? We've got some very strong players in this very first round, but we're going to have a few other rounds to eliminate other teams as well. Amilcar here, locked in, listening to music.
From the guards, or someone's got a disco going to hide themselves up. The good news,
as
for
you
the players
should,
down below, you know, is they get a bit of time to watch and witness what any potential strategies could arise.
We should go from the front back linearly. We should do it in teams of 2 if there is stamina. So first 2 right click.
Planning ahead.
Third 2, fourth 2, all the way back to 10.
They didn't mention any stamina. That'd be crazy.
They had, yeah, no, that would be a crazy twist.
I just love seeing like some of the players in the other team who are already clicking. Everyone's just clicking just mindlessly.
I guess, yeah, they don't know how much time they have. It could just be boom, green light starts, and then they're not clicking.
Not today, maybe tomorrow, but not today.
Oh man.
What I can see too is, I mean, I'd assume they'd like stand up and grab the rope, right? Instead of it staying there and just having to aim at the ground.
Yeah, no, they definitely pick it up as we saw in the cinematic during the instructions. But the question is when are we starting? We keep getting all these dramatic, you know, sort of angles on the game. And it seems like with this music, we are about to begin. My heartbeat has peaked.
I see everybody just smashing the rope. Getting their clicker fingers warmed up.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna ask a bit of a nerd question here.
Okay.
What would be your strategy? Would you jitter click or would you try butterfly clicking?
Players,
If you know
please
the
wait.
Right. Oh, I will hold that thought to see. There's instructions that are coming from the guards. I personally find more success jitter clicking, but I know everybody has ways that work better for them. I don't know how I do it, but I can kind of like almost vibrate my finger, and if I have it in the correct position on the mouse, kind of rapid fire my clicks. I just can't move my mouse if I'm doing that. So
right.
I can only
See, that's
look
my
in one
problem.
place.
That's my problem. If I jitter click, I don't really have much free reign on where I'm looking. I feel like I can't really control that. Butterfly clicking, I have a little bit more control in where I'm pointing, but obviously it limits you from using your other click. In this regard, I feel like you won't really need your other click. So maybe butterfly clicking will be maybe the better thing to do, but it's hard to tell, right? It all comes down to actually putting it to work in the competition.
Yeah, I'm curious to how fast you can actually click too, and have all those clicks, you know, register on the rope. Maybe it's more about timing than just full on speed, but I mean, based on the instructions, it is just click as fast as you can.
I think speed is definitely the name of the game here. There might be... Oh, here we go. We've started. Whew. As the rope is officially raised up, you can see there's a countdown for when the game begins.
And now already, the clicking begins.
There
the
it
heart
is.
levels rise.
You can see as they're getting moved around.
So you can position yourself a bit left, a bit right. I don't know how much it actually affects your strength, though.
It might give you a bit of a better... Uh-oh.
Big break from Hannah.
Losing...
They lose a little bit of... Oh, and
a little bit of screaming. Hannah's locked in.
I like Hannah's strategy of, you know, making sure your cursor is as centered as possible on the rope. You really have to make sure you're clicking the rope. Tubbo's call out to go sideways and look directly at the rope to avoid, you know, maybe hitting your teammates instead of the rope.
That's right. This rope is not budging. Everyone is clicking as fast as they humanly can. It's going to come down to a game of stamina. Who can click as fast as possible continuously without stopping?
You can see there's even an icon at the bottom right of a hand holding a rope, and that disappears.
That's right.
If you're not actually, you know, hitting the rope. So right now, all the players on the screen are, but you can see it kind of blinks sometimes, and that's when your cursor goes off of the rope.
That's right.
And it's almost just stamina at this point, as the rope is centered.
You can see as the screen is sort of shaking because they're trying to jitter click as fast as they possibly can. The gamer lean.
Oh my gosh.
The arm shaking. Everyone is fully locked in right now.
You can just see their face, their screen when it's shaking like that. You said it yourself, Jojo. The jitter click coming through. The mouse itself shaking.
Oh my gosh. And it seems like Hannah's team is actually struggling right now. You can see it on the bar at the very top. It seems to be a little bit off. It's actually kind of hard to tell because the flag isn't on the actual rope.
Right.
But maybe Hannah's team, I think they're actually making a comeback, as it seems like the team on the right is getting slowly and slowly closer to the edge. You can see the flag on the top is leaning towards Hannah's team, meaning it is closer to them. They're exercising.
Tubbo screaming his heart out, trying to motivate the team. Here, energy, here, vibes are crucial. You can't let your team get tired as the flag is going towards 2 right now. It looks like Hannah's team is making sort of a comeback.
I actually think it's just flipped. I think it's leaning towards the other team now. It's so hard to fully be able to tell.
It does seem that Hannah's team are pulling the rope further away. As now you can see, Amilcar is getting a bit more nervous as he gets closer and closer to the edge. You don't want one leg hanging off. As now it looks like Team 1 has really good odds to close this one out.
That's right. You can see the flag on the top bar is very much leaning towards Teams 2. Woo! They are locking in as this may be the final stretch of this round.
You can see the excitement of Foolish as they get closer and closer to pulling their opponents off.
That's right, they're in the danger zone.
There's a couple more clicks, but you can see they're repositioning themselves on the rope to lean further and further away from the edge. Well, no.
This game is so shit.
That Hannah team goes down.
I thought we won too.
And unfortunately, this entire team has just been eliminated.
Jugador 200, eliminado. Jugador 13, eliminado.
Rain, give me your breakdown. What are your thoughts on what just happened?
I mean, you see it there. One of our biggest teams go down, and the sheer battle, not just of emotion, but of mental fortitude, is unfortunately not on the side of Tubbo and Purpled. Taco, Foolish, this team of 10, some of our most iconic players so far in Survival Cup 3 have fallen and have exited our journey. What an amazing moment on the other side, though, guys, because as much as there is despair for the 10 who have fallen, there is elation for those who have survived, including Julia Mucci, Locochon, and Farfadox, and all the others. Wow.
Heartbreaking.
You can see people talking about how much their fingers hurt just from locking in and clicking as fast as they humanly could.
You can see friends from different teams now face the reality of what this minigame actually is. How quickly all 10 players can be eliminated. But also at the same time, the excitement you can get.
The hype is seeping through my monitor right now.
Woo! That's a celebration, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. The victory screams come through as our first 10 players of this mini game are going to be continuing on. But you can also see that the remaining players are now down to 90, as we started today with over 120 players. And once this concludes, we will have at most 50 players left.
There you go. And it seems like, you know, the visual may have been a little bit confusing for some, but the flag is basically the middle point of the rope. So as it was leaning towards Team 2, that meant Team 1 was basically about to fall off their ledge.
Right, it's where the flag is getting pulled towards, not the other way around. So you want that flag to be pulled towards you, which will pull the other team off.
That's right. I can't believe Hannah got eliminated just now. This is actually heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, one of our biggest players, guys, for sure. One of the kind of marquee leaders in this game so far. Certainly a big, you know, absence will be felt with Hannah no longer there. But it's not just Hannah. I mean, Purple, Tubbo, you know, Foolish, all these players who have been a big part of that alliance. And this is kind of goes to the conversation of, would you rather stick with your alliance or not? And I think in this type of game, if they had split up, you know, 3, 4, 5 of them could stay alive, 4 or 5 of them will go home. But the other horror story might be maybe they're against each other, right? And they don't want to send any of them home. But at the end of the day, we've got our next matchup coming up. Certainly a game filled with drama, though, Dokata.
Drama, I'm all for. I told you, Rain, when I'm watching, it's a different story, okay? I'm playing, I don't want it. The picks come through now. The first team that is going to go up is number 9. I'm trying to get my eyes on it. And it's going to be Team 2 versus Team 9. Neptuni, one of the players. Noni, Luzu's playing. A lot of big Spanish-speaking creators, even Sylvie, are going to be participating here.
This will be another important round to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, what's not important? Obviously, you know, this is really where it shows up. But just want to remind you guys who are watching, let us know in chat who you think is going to take this one. Who are you rooting for? What emotions are going through? Heartbreak, elation? Let us know. Also, our friends at State Farm need your help with something else. They need your help with selecting the perfect moment for us to shine a bright light on during today's State Farm Spotlight. So check out the poll now. We're putting it up, and choose the one you'd like to see us break down later in the show. Back to the drama, Jojo.
Oh my gosh, yes, we can see as everyone is just making sure they have all their hotkeys right. You know, no needing to do push to talk. They're going to be full on screaming onto the microphone as necessary. You can see some teams getting a little bit nervous. But also what I love to see is the chats showing a lot of support. You can see in Sylvie's chat, everyone was throwing in some hearts. So that positivity is hopefully what will get some of these players to continue getting that confidence, that ego boost up that they need in order to succeed.
Yeah, as once again they're slowly pulled on up to increase the pressure that these players are feeling. But I love that a lot of ánimo, as you'd say in Spanish, kind of hyping each other up, getting the vibes high, so they're, you know, motivated enough to click as humanly possible. But what's interesting is not just the clicking here, but the positioning. So from what I can take away in the first match is you have to be careful not to position yourself too close to your teammates, because you might end up clicking them instead of the rope itself. But you also don't want to spread out too much to cause yourself to kind of fall down and then lose a member of the team.
That's right.
So it is quite important.
Very, very important. As you can see, Vicky here is sort of already starting to practice, starting to get a little bit of that space that we're talking about. Positioning is key, because as it seems, it's not the physical rope that gets any closer or further. Of course, you see it in the sort of leaderboard that's, or not leaderboard, but the bar that's at the top of the screen. And having that positioning is going to be crucial. As you mentioned, you don't want to accidentally be clicking on your own teammates or just completely missing the rope overall.
And as a reminder, that flag is going to go towards the team that is winning. It's the amount of force that you are pulling. So as it goes closer to 1 or 2, we'll see who actually has the most pulling force. But so far, it is quite even.
Seems as though everyone's sort of getting a little bit silent here and just locking in.
You really got to make sure to aim at the rope. You can see the bottom right again. It's if you're actually on the rope or not, that icon, whether it's there or not, the hand holding it.
That's right. That is the key here. So team number 1, which is who we're spectating right now, Sylvie and her team, is currently in the lead. As you can see, the flag is sort of leaning towards them. Of course, there is no physical flag on the rope. That's why we track it by looking at the leaderboard here. And you can see team 1 is leading by a little bit, but it seems to be bouncing back a little bit. Oh my gosh, you can already hear them screaming, saying, let's keep the momentum, guys.
That's what's good, though, about taking that initial lead. It just gives your team that much more hype to continue clicking as fast as they can. But on the contrary, team 2 with Axother, Danithan, and the rest of the group, now a bit of fear is going to be sinking in. As you can see, Derek is getting closer and closer to that edge.
Oh man, I would not want to be standing so close to the edge there. But now team 2 is in the lead, as it seems like maybe they're clicking a little bit faster. Team 2 continuing that lead. They seem to have pushed a little bit past that threshold that team 1 had the advantage in. So this perspective may be a little bit interesting, because team 1 is actually on our right and team 2 is on our left. So don't get it twisted, guys.
Don't get it reversed.
We're looking at it this way so we can see the spectators as well. And of course, team 2 is still in the advantage here, but they seem to be losing a little bit. It seems to be kind of going back and forth here.
Oh, I don't like the look of this view. Anthony right now, you can see how close he is to the edge, but the good news is he's not letting go of that rope for a single second. His loser's even choosing to stay a little bit more back from his team to have an angle on that rope. As you can see, everybody's screaming and doing what they can to pull it closer and closer. But Anthony now, you can see the nerves, the pressure that his whole team is feeling.
That is correct. Now, you can see Team 2 is a little bit more sort of together in the back of the rope here. Meanwhile, Team 1 is a little bit more spread out, and it seems like that is sort of starting to help them out because Team 2 is losing their advantage as it is very quickly starting to deplete the red flag, at least going back towards the middle, losing that sort of head start that they had. And it's almost like we're back to the beginning of the game.
It's tied once again. I wonder if it matters how close you are to kind of the edge, right? Maybe if you're closer to the edge, you have a bit more pulling force, as it could help. You can see the excitement from Sylvie's team, which is Team 1, as now the flag gets closer and closer to their side, which is good, as it means they're pulling their opponents towards the center, which is exactly what they want. But now the pressure's on Derek,
right.
as he's the
Look
closest
at Derek's
to the
heart
edge.
rate. 156 BPM right there. As they're locked in on clicking as fast as they can.
The highest I've seen during the event. Axelfed on Team 2 now, feeling the pressure.
Of course, the flag is not budging too much. It keeps sort of defaulting back towards that middle. Neither team is wanting to let go, but it seems like the flag is very quickly moving towards Team 2. But is Team 1 going to make that comeback as they already did once? We shall find out. They're getting very close to the edge here, man. Let's take a step back or two.
It's just back and forth. It's back and forth. But right now, Team 2, it's looking like they might just be able to close it out, as Derek is getting closer and closer to slipping off this edge. And if one player goes down, that's going to be the end for the strength.
That is absolutely right. Derek here is on Team 1, so you can imagine how stressed they are feeling as they are wanting to do anything that they possibly can, but the red flag is very quickly reaching Team 2. Is it going to end in just a few seconds, or will they come back?
Just the
The
millimeter
red flag
is all
has
that's
officially
left.
reached Team 2. Oh! And Team 1 is out. Sylvie, Derek, Neftuni, a lot of these great players.
Vicky. You can see all 10 players unfortunately go down. With every storm, there's a bit of sunshine. And that's exactly what Danithin, Carola, Luthu, this whole team of players are feeling now. The deep breaths.
Menos 13.
As they've
Still
made
alive.
Jugador 6 eliminado.
Rocio, unfortunately, can see as
Eliminado.
they're not feeling too happy about what's just happened.
Eliminado.
You can see all the emotion. It's all good. Rocio says, gotta keep the vibes up. You did the best you could in these heartbreaking moments of the Survival Cup.
0-7s in the chat for the two teams that have been eliminated so far. For those of you just tuning in, the first round of this game, we had iDog, Hannah XX Rose, Purple, Foolish, Briz, Pierre, Tubbo, Gameto, Gia, and Filza getting eliminated. And now in round 2, we see another 10 players eliminated. As this team, of course, is celebrating a little bit.
From the 07s to the excitement, once again, evil Luzu's turned into happy Luzu.
Let's go.
My goodness, guys.
Yeah. They make it. Oh, this is too much, right? This is just 2 battles that we've seen. 50 players are gonna go down at least.
We're and
already
you
down
hate
to
it.
80.
You hate it if you are on that side, seeing your friends go or you go. It feels like somebody's got to go, though. And in this type of head-to-head, you know that just doing your best is all you can do. You got to forget the rest. And, of course, we say goodbye to many of our big names that have been involved. Vicky Palami, Neftuni, Sylvie going down, people we follow. We had the Derek up there as well earlier on. And of course, earlier that huge group of Idogmai and Hannah Rose, Purple, Foolish, Tubbo, Filza, that group gone. So it is starting to be a very different type of game, a very different type of day too. And for those in chat watching, I'm sure emotional seeing some of these streamers that have fought so hard to get to this point have to go home. But there's, like I always say, another side of that coin as well. And kind of hard to acknowledge, you know, mood's probably more somber than anything, but you gotta imagine if you win this battle, wow, you're probably in the top 50 overall in Survival Cup 3. That is exciting.
Oh, yeah. That's where you kind of start seeing the reality of it, right? Of, you know, I'm closer and closer to that grand prize.
Yeah.
Now I've already made it past the halfway point. If you make it past today, already made it past day 4, you know, you're getting closer and closer to that last day. And I believe the pressure is a lot heavier on these participants' backs. But there's still so many teams that have yet to participate in today's challenge. So we are not there yet. We have to see who the remaining players are going to be. The hype music for a lot of people is doing what they can. Pre-game ritual to get locked in, get focused up, and continue moving forwards.
That is correct. You can see some people are feeling the hype. Lunche talking about their mouse being a little small, but you know, a mouse is a mouse, all right? As long as you can click it, that's all you're gonna need for this minigame.
That's true. We'll do the best we can to showcase who is Team 1, who is Team 2 as a reminder. There is that red flag that pops up on the UI in the top center of the screen. And whichever team has that flag pulling towards them, it means they're actually winning. You want that flag to pull towards the team you're rooting for, whether it be Team 1 or Team 2. As if you want to imagine it as like the rope being pulled and pulling that opposing team towards the center. As Pystax continues to hype up his team.
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see that people are still trying to keep that positive mood. I mean, sure, you might have seen some of your friends get eliminated, but at the same time, some of these people are confirmed to stay in for another day.
Scarred looking a little suspicious, just making sure everybody's in their line.
Cuando le estáis dando, sale la manita, como haciendo como cuando estás haciendo esto, sale eso. O sea, si veis que vuestro personaje tiene la manita con el botón derecho, es que no estáis dando.
Wow, I just still can't believe how many players we have lost in a matter of just a few rounds. As we are getting ready for the next round, the next teams are being selected. Seems like Team 3 is going to be our Team 1 for this round. And then the next team is going to be, drum roll please, Team 8.
Team 1 and 8, okay. Yeah, I hear people screaming.
Let's
go.
There it is.
Guys, haven't looked at this. Is there something that you can do? I mean, it feels like this is really just a test of something that you've built up over the course of your time playing games, which is your ability to really right click or left click.
It sounds to me like it's a game of just believing in your teammates, trusting one another, and fully locking in, because at the end of the day, there's not really too much you can do aside from try your absolute best yourself. But of course, it's a team game. It comes down to the ability of your other teammates as well. As Rubius is here, one of the first teams, I'm actually trying to see, is this Team 1 or 2? I believe this is Team 3, which means they're going to be Team A.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell, but we'll get confirmation here soon.
Mentira, mentira, mentira. Está todo bien, loco. A morir para... ¿Eh?
A ver, todo de gente.
Dale.
We have Shadone as well. Sapnap. second
Now
place
this team-
and first place in the previous Survival Cup. So it would be devastating to see them go down here.
This team is going to be a very difficult one to beat. But that's exactly what we thought with Team 10, who inevitably fell into the freezing water. Now, we have Survival Cup winner 1, or Survival Cup 1 winner and Survival Cup 2 winner faced off right now.
Oh, wow.
In this game, we have Ollie Gamers on the B team, and Sapnap, I believe, is on the A team. So this is going to be quite the intense round. Now, this is a little bit disappointing to me, I'm going to be honest, because I have some friends in both teams, and it's going to be hard to say bye to a few of them. I am hoping to see a good outcome, but honestly, I don't think there is any good outcomes. It will just be what it is.
Yeah, I actually really think this is a big highlight just for everyone watching. We've got 2 winners. We were talking about the possibility of going back-to-back or winning twice out of 3 survival cups. Well, for one player, it certainly will not happen. But for one, it's guaranteed to still have a possibility because they're on different teams. So, wow, that storyline will still continue. But for who is the question?
That's right. And now we have a little bit of a graphic up top as well, so we can get a little bit more of an understanding of which team is which. Of course, on the left team, which is team 1, based on the graphic, is also team 3. I know this is a lot of numbers, a lot of letters, very confusing, but that's okay. We'll walk you guys through it. On the left side, we have Shadoon, we have Gunter, we have Sapnap, we have Rubius, I believe, Spreen, a very, very scary team, may I say. But on the right side, we have Team 8 that has a lot of really skilled players as well, like Goldified, Ollie Gamers. Of course, I say that as he comes up on the screen. Perfect timing. You got to lock in, Ollie. The flag is leaning towards Team 1.
Yeah, as a reminder, that red flag is being pulled towards the team that is winning. So currently, Team 3 or Team 1, which is Shadown, is currently in the lead. If they pull that flag all the way to the end, that means their opponents are pulled off the edge and unfortunately go down. Can they maintain this lead, though? Will there be a comeback from Team 2? Previous Survival Cup winners on both ends, fighting it out to the end.
You can hear as the players are getting pumped up because Team 1 is in the lead here, but CPK locking in, losing the rope for a split second there. Now we get this top-down view of all the players locking in. If one player lets go for even a split second, it could be a big issue for that team.
We've seen a lot of back and forths throughout the day. So you can never feel safe, even if that red flag is quite close to the finish line on your end. You can never stop clicking. You have to stay focused, stay locked in, to make sure you're not body blocking your teammates. Make sure you're constantly clicking that rope. But so far, the lead has not been taken away from Team 1.
That is absolutely right. Trying to make sure that they're not sort of intruding in the rope here. But the flag is very much leaning towards Team 1 right now, which means either the second team needs to do something incredible here to come back, or Team 1 may be locking in the win for this round.
I already hear excitement from Spreen. There's happiness behind those screams as they are continuing to pull it towards their side and getting closer and closer. But at the same time, you have Ollie Gamer's team with the fear in their eyes. Shadown fully locked in, doing what he can to keep his space from his teammates, make sure every player is hitting that rope.
That's right. You can see the red flag is very slightly leaning towards Team 1, but it's not budging too easily. You can see it's trying to move to the right, it's trying to move to the left, but it's kind of stuck in just in that spot there. Team 2 is not letting it go so easily.
Goldified Aquino The whole roster here doing what they can to reposition themselves along this rope. But you know they're feeling the pressure. You know they're clicking as fast as they possibly can. Spreed trying to hype up his team. Get the blood flowing. As they are just inches away from closing this one out.
Oh my goodness. Neither team is budging. They're not wanting to, they're being a little bit stubborn. I mean, Team 1 is very evidently in the lead here, but no one's letting it go so easily.
Well, if they manage to get a comeback here, if Team 8 pulls it back, we might just see a historical moment here. As Rubius is doing everything he possibly can to push this rope to the end. They are so close.
This is a game of stamina. If someone gets tired for even a split second, the opposite team could get that lead. No one can let go at this point.
I've never seen Shadun so locked in before. Calming to his team, spread out more, spread out more. We're getting too close. We're not going to start hitting the rope. Make sure we all have our own section on the rope to click, and that call might have just been what they needed, as they are just millimeters away. But Ollie Gamers does not want to let that happen.
They're slowly but surely building it back up. But again, letting go for a split second is the end of that momentum there. You can see as the flag is slowly moving back to the right. Of course, just as a reminder, if the flag is leaning towards the Team 1, that means Team 1 is winning so far. Basically, imagine that that red flag is the exact middle of the rope. So that would imply that Team 2 is basically falling off their ledge. Of course, physically, the rope is in the same spot so that they can have the right amount of space to click on that rope. But goodness, they are not budging.
Wow. Team 3 made up of big names. Shadon, second place in the previous Survival Cup. The Survival Cup 2 winner as well on Team 3. Team 8, though, the Survival Cup winner, Ollie Gamers. A gold medal match as
Team 2
or Team 2 is doing what they can to pull it back. This isn't over yet.
Oh my gosh, they are getting that back. No, CPK, don't let go. You can see the shock in his eyes as they're slowly gaining that flag back towards the middle.
That boost of motivation, that boost of confidence might have just been what Team 2 needed to bring it back.
As we spectate Team 2, you can see they are not budging even for a second. Now we're back onto watching Team 1. Churro also not budging here. You can see they are maybe in a little bit of pain, clicking so much.
This has
oh my
been
gosh,
the
even my
longest
heart
match
is beating.
we've seen
like,
so far.
No one giving an inch.
The stamina that these players have is incredible.
You can see Shadun taking a bit of a leader role here, telling people, all right, guys, let's spread out. You go over here. Don't give up. This isn't the time to end it just yet. We still have a lot of competition left within us.
Rubius. I'm not sure if he's going to make it.
It's starting to hurt.
It's starting to feel. You can feel
it's
the
starting to hurt
tension.
me.
They've been clicking for, I'd say, more than 5 minutes at maximum pace here, but they might just be able to do it. Is Team 1 going to be able to close it out? They've been in the lead the whole time, but as I say it, Team 2 gets a boost of motivation and brings it back for just half a second. This game is not over.
Team 2 is not budging. They are as stubborn as I am, all right? We are not going to let go that easily. But it seems like Team 1 is going to take the lead here. They are so close to the end. Are they going to win?
Away. It's a back and forth.
Oh my gosh, this is by far the most intense round. Team 2 about to lose it here to Team 1. And there it is.
Our Survival Cup 2 veterans showing what it takes to be a champion. The excitement and celebration comes through as another 10 players have been eliminated.
Shadoon actually sobbing.
Wow.
The emotions are through the roof for this team. You can see the hype and the love is spreading throughout this team. I am extremely devastated to see CPK and Ollie Gamers unfortunately be eliminated there. But of course, one team had to go. As we see CPK's body unfortunately getting transported here.
Oh, you even heard them talking about it. You can still fall off. So if right now during, you know, their celebration moment as they're taking pictures, you accidentally slip off, that's an elimination. So you do have to be careful here. Spreen was calling it out. Spreen saying he didn't stop for a single second throughout that whole time.
Rubio is so excited he turned into a cat for a split second there.
Rain, how are you feeling?
Imagine they just jump off. That would not be good.
Be very, very careful. You know, it's rare to see what feels like a physical activity happening in a video game like this. I felt like I watched a true comeback on a football field or a basketball field court. It felt like that energy became palpable. It was real. You know, all thousands of miles away from each other, but whew, they all were feeling that same emotion during this. And now that exhale is probably the sweetest exhale a lot of them have ever felt. And Shadoon and Sapnap continue their story. Shadoon with the chance to right a wrong from a previous Survival Cup. You could see the emotion that went over his face, had to calm himself as it just was too much to handle. And what a scene, guys. That was truly, I think, the most epic versus we have almost ever seen in Survival Cup.
He is physically drained, crying. I mean, that is the emotions and the drama that come from this event, the Survival Cup 3, where the stakes are high.
I believe we have 2 more matches to be played out from the remaining players I can see. 70 current players remaining. It will be down to at most 50.
That is right.
Bueno, ofrecerle una mina y un escabio, a ver si te vas a enterar.
What a way to close this one out.
All the winners
Wow.
sort of celebrating in this hallway here.
Heroic celebration. We'll get to see now who the next 2 teams are that will be going against each other.
Así que bien, o sea, los únicos pros que quedan, bueno, que debe quedar alguno, ¿no? No quiero faltar respeto. Pero debe quedar Farfal, Rich, Killer, Silly, no sé si es pro.
Here we go, getting the next teams picked. Team number 6.
Que quedan 2 peleas nada más, ¿no? Bueno, 2.
Okay.
Going in as
Curious to
Team
see.
A.
Who is that? Out on play. Okay, I think it's team 1 versus 6.
There it is.
These are some big names going against each other. Team 1, made up of Out on Play and his partners. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to remember who was on number 6. We'll get to see here shortly.
Muchas gracias, muchas gracias.
Los otros dos equipos, ¿no?
Mientras.
Y luego nosotros los últimos.
Sí, sí.
Tranquilos, la muerte es inminente.
Vale.
The guard saying, death is inevitable, so don't worry about it. All right, hearing right now, we are obviously spectating Team 1 right now, but our Team 6 is actually containing quite a few huge streamers as well, some pretty competitive players, I would say, as well. We have Juan, Mire, Renrise, Larry, Royer, and Quackity. Oh, and Puji. And then Team 1, we will get to see a full look of it in just a second here.
Okay, Renrai saying, you know, we're the better team. Every time we've seen at least one player give a bit of, you know, good vibes to the rest of their team, trying to hype them up and do what they can. But that adrenaline is needed most when you have to start pulling that rope. You said it yourself, Jojo, big names going against each other. Some with experience in, well, I'd say a lot of experience in Minecraft, and also some who haven't played as much Minecraft. But the good news, it's a team of 10 players. So what matters most is that teamwork, the spacing between the rope, making sure you're not blocking each other and constantly hitting it.
That is absolutely right. We see as Team 1 here is slowly but surely making their way, taking deep breaths. I mean, it's going to be important, right? Espe here we saw have a huge clutch yesterday during the tower game. So now it comes down to, can they do it again?
This Team 1 looking a bit more silent as they make their way to the elevator. Talking about lower the sensitivity, get your controls ready, do what you can to prepare.
That is absolutely right. We got a little look of Team A and Team B, of course. Seems like they might be missing a player here, and the guard is carrying them over.
The player has been picked up. Taking him by force.
Espera, guardia, que falta otro. Falta el calvo.
Venga, vamos, vamos. Ya estamos. Está aquí. Sequia me estaba meando, tío.
Okay, it looks like small bathroom break. Now they're all back in the game, ready to go.
Listen, I would definitely need to do a bathroom break before something like this.
The guard pulled him out of the bathroom, though. Hopefully he was able to finish. As now they are making their way to the platform. Said, I'm gonna go have dinner. Good luck, guys. Have fun. Obviously joking around. As now you can even see, just stepping up here, you can feel the tension.
Oh,
One
absolutely.
wrong move. Imagine even if you just fall down now, jumping around. Down a team member.
Everyone locking in. It's time to focus. Don't worry about this big fall that could be a potential death. Just worry about the rope.
Still have a bit of time here. Discuss how they want to set this up, how they want to focus up. But then it's just a 10-second countdown, and the pulling begins.
Hold on, making sure that his teammates know to click on the rope and not on a player, because of course mistakes can happen, but if you keep it at the forefront of your brain, you can try to avoid making those mistakes as much as possible.
So if we're taking a look at that perspective where you can see both teams, the right side is going to be Team 6 that has Juan Guarnizo, Mirei, Renrais, Buji, Larry, Royer, Wackety, Javier, a big group of top-tier creators as just 5 seconds until the chaos unfolds. Team 1 is on the left, out on play Espe, as now it kicks off.
There we go. We have Team 1 versus Team 6. Team 1 already taking a little bit of the lead, but as we know, that doesn't always conclude who the winner will be.
In the previous match, the team that held the lead at the start, well, they held it all the way through. Will it be a repeat, or will we have more of a back and forth like in the initial 2 rope pulling matches? As so far, Team 1 is going to be in the lead.
That is right. It's not really budging too much, though. It made a little bit of a dip into Team 1 here, but as it shakes a little bit in place, it's not really too much of a head start here. Team 6 could still very well come back, and you can see we actually get a mouse perspective.
Okay.
You can see they're switching their finger every now and again to keep that stamina up, because that is what's going to be important here, right? You don't want to get tired and let go for even a second. So switching fingers might actually be the strategy here.
Yeah, the issue is, though, they are not in the lead. This is Team 6, which is on the right side, so they are not pulling as hard as they have to. The good news is they're not, you know, too far behind. Team 1's in the lead, but not by much, as Renrise continues to stay focused.
That's right. Even I'm focused. I'm locking in on what they're doing. The flag not really budging, though. Kind of just staying in that first little divot there into Team 1. But neither team is letting go. No one's just gonna let the other team get the win.
Definitely not. As Master Sensei now doing what he can on Team 1 to continue that lead forwards. But they're gonna need to pull harder than that if they want to close this one out. They are still close to the center. I feel like we're gonna have another intense match.
I believe so as well. That is what it is looking like. It's been making sure that they adjust as the rope is sort of tugging them into different directions here, making sure that they don't stop looking at that rope and they don't stop clicking on it. Team 1 is still in the lead here, finally getting a little bit more of a little inching more towards Team 1 there. But everyone is still locked in.
Yeah, we've talked about positioning. We've talked about just being able to click as fast as possible, but it's also that stamina that you need, right? This can last a good amount of time, and you cannot get tired if you want to end up winning. So you have to have that team captain making sure everybody's spaced out. They're not hitting each other, they're hitting the rope, but also you want to be using a grip. You want to be, whether it be jitter clicking, butterfly clicking, whatever it might be, something that you can consistently do for a long period of time without getting tired and losing that rhythm. As I believe Team 1 is inching their way closer and closer to their side.
That's right. I am just eyeballing that red flag on the UI there at the top. Oh my gosh, I mean, the flag is just not wanting to budge much, right? Like, it's barely inching forward, but maybe that's all that they need, right? That might be all that we need, and you can see they're already getting tired. They were using 2 fingers to click the same button. I mean, it is a stamina game. It is a speed game. But letting go for even a split second could lose you that bit of a benefit there.
What I am noticing is Team 1 is a lot louder than Team 6. When we were watching Pujidos, which is on Team 6, he was kind of quiet, and so were his teammates. They were just all focused, all locked in, but you might need that little, you know, push of adrenaline to keep your stamina going like Team 1 has. So I'd like to see a bit more communications from Team 6 come through.
Now, Team 6 sort of not really being in the lead here could be quite problematic. I know that there are quite a few huge streamers on Team 6, and we definitely don't want to see some of these players get eliminated. I mean, someone like Quackity, who just showed up on the screen, is on Team 6. So we need you to lock in, please.
On Quackity. Okay, you can hear a bit of comms coming through, just about, you know, give you a bit more space on your left. You can go there to try and not block the player in front of you. But I think we need a bit more excitement, you know, a bit more adrenaline from the team if they're going to be able to pull it back, as it is inching towards Team 1 still. They're getting significantly closer now, as it's getting into a danger zone for Team 6.
Oh, yeah. That is correct. You can't let go for even a split second, because as you can see, Team 1 is still in that lead, and they've been gaining it slowly but surely. It hasn't been much of bounce between Team 1 and Team 6. It has mostly just been leaning towards Team 1, but it's been going a little bit slower.
I'm feeling the nerves through the screen, even the tiredness. You can see their face. They're getting exhausted here from clicking this quickly for that long. You only have so much stamina. The question is, which of the teams of 10 players have more?
That is absolutely right. You can see some people are getting a little bit excited. Others are getting a little bit nervous.
We saw a potential comeback begin in the previous match. The issue is, as you get closer and closer, you also get a bit more of that adrenaline kicking in, which is why Team 1 is starting to get louder. But now I hear the comms coming in from Team 6. They're starting to talk a bit more, as it's going to be what they need to pull it back. They have to keep going. They cannot give up.
Chanting.
You can still make a comeback from this position.
Oh, yeah. You have to chant, you have to scream, you have to bring that energy so that your teammates around you can feel it as well. Guarantee yourself that win. Motivate those around you. Team 1 seems to be doing that quite well, as they are indeed in the lead, but nothing is confirmed just yet.
Yeah, he's doing what he can to motivate his team, saying don't get tired, keep on pushing. This is Team 1, the players that are in the lead. All they have to do is maintain that rhythm and keep going until Team 2 gets tired, but they're starting to body block each other a little. They can't let that happen. It's just gonna cause them to not aim at the rope and lose a bit of potentially crucial clicks.
That is absolutely right, but Team 1 is not budging, even with a few mistakes here and there. They know how to make that comeback. Team 6 screaming a bit. Oh, doing a 360.
Was it a celebration jump? What was it, DJ Mario? I know you're in the lead, but you have to be careful. They are in the danger zone now, Team 6. They have to be careful and do what they can to bring it back. Or if not, Team 1 is going to close this out.
Accidentally opening their inventory there, causing them a split half of a second there from being able to click on the rope. Team 1 is nearly at the finish line, as Team 6 is lagging behind.
Telling Mario to step back, blocking some of his teammates here, causing them to not hit the rope. It's happening once again. You got to be careful to not block the players in front of you. The good news for Team 1, though, is they are still incredibly in the lead, just inching away from victory. Will they be able to close it out, though? I'm not sure.
This is where you got to dig deep. This is that moment. Team 6. We've seen it before. An opportunity to make a little stalemate here. But can you coordinate enough clicks to get momentum back? Looks like Team 1 is so close, Jojo, to closing this out.
It's too close. Team 6, I'm sure, is beginning to feel a little bit desperate to get an extra click in there wherever they can. But it seems like Team 1 is very slowly but surely inching, already getting hyped as the red flag is slowly budging. It won't fully commit just yet, but it's going to happen any moment now.
You can't fight that adrenaline. You can't fight the hype from this team now clicking the fastest they've had. I'm sure this is all or nothing now. As
It's nearly there.
The hopes are going down. They know they're just a millimeter away from getting pulled in towards the middle. On the contrary, Team 1 more excited than ever as they successfully take down their opponents.
Team 6 has officially been eliminated, including a lot of incredible players who unfortunately couldn't make it until the very end, including Javier, Juan, Carlitos, Rey, Quackity. I mean, that's incredible. But Espe here, you can see, is quite hyped. Their hands may be cramping a little bit, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. It's all about that stamina is what I'm seeing now. And these players did everything they had to take it home, deserving of passing on to the next round. It just leaves us at 60 remaining players now. We started today with 120 players.
Wow.
And we're just cutting that number in half.
And we still have another 10 players to eliminate, isn't that right?
Yes, it is. 2 more teams to play against each other. It's gonna drop it down to at most 50 if no one, falls off the bridge here while they're celebrating. It should be about 50 players. As you know, they've had to wait this whole time, watching teams go down, watching 10 players get eliminated at a time. As now they're gonna be feeling the most pressure of all.
Nadie confiaba en este equipo de mierda. Y mira, este equipo de muertos,
Don't play say no one believed in us, but look at us now. Look where we are. Who's laughing now? As the celebrations continue.
Man, I mean, you can hear just from little Rager girl here just saying, it's time to breathe. Now we can breathe. I'm sure the final 2 teams that have yet to compete probably haven't been breathing for the past 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, you can see the deep breaths coming through. Just trying to focus up again. The good news is this was the second game of the day, so if there isn't a nighttime, they should be good to relax a little bit before they have to go through something like that again.
That is absolutely right. I mean, it seems like quite evidently everyone's been affected by having to physically be strong in these mini games. No one really expected it. You gotta have that physical strength.
But there's still 2 more teams left. You can see at the other side, everybody's celebrating, and there they are, just watching from afar, thinking, will that be us? Will it not? It must be difficult to be those last 2 teams that have yet to face off against each other.
Yeah, not that you needed any more tension to be added to this moment, but to wait and see everyone do it, and then to have to maintain your own composure when your friends have fallen and they're no longer in the game, and you've seen what could be you. Keeping that positive mentality. It's the challenge of our final 2 teams here, as we have 10 more players who need to be eliminated before we can continue into day 5. Day 4 still with a lot of fireworks left in store.
That's right, Rain. Actually, I was just thinking about it, wondering, I don't know if I would rather be in the first teams sort of competing or in the later teams so that maybe you get more time to prepare. I feel like either way it's equally as stressful, but man, I do not want to be going into this after seeing sort of the results of the other games.
Yeah, I mean, thinking specifically too, how do you even, prepare? As long as it's going to require stamina, it's going to require you to click a lot. You saw maybe a bit regarding the don't body block when you're positioning yourself on the rope. Kind of difficult to know exactly what you can do.
That's right. I mean, that's the thing about these games, right? You sort of go into it blindly. We learn the instructions, pretty much as the game is about to begin. So it's kind of hard to develop strategies until you're in the thick of it.
It really is. That's Pereira. does what he can to get ready, keeping eye contact with us, trying to stare his opponents away.
A little uncomfortable, but I'm okay.
From my room, as all the players get warmed up, get focused, get locked in. You can feel the nerves. Soypan saying the key is don't get tired. Just do what you can to keep that rhythm going. Don't slow down and last as long as you possibly can.
That is absolutely right. And just as a reminder for everyone watching at home, this is our final round of this game, The Rope, which will feature Team 4 on the left versus Team 7 on the right-hand side. So, of course, once we get that game started, make sure you let us know who you're rooting for here, because this is the final round before we move on to, I guess, just the conclusion of the day, right?
It really is. Team 4 has Soypan, Amablitz, Natalia, Feliz, Pablo, Donato, Leandro, Samu, Lonche, Barca. And on Team 7, which is on the right, it's composed of Ricky Edit, Maximus, Garches, Panpot, San Peter, Corco, Pereira, Agustin, Los Futbolitos, and Stacks. 2 teams of 10. Quick reminder for the UI as well. At the top of the screen, you will see a rope that has a red flag on it. The goal for that team is to pull the red flag towards them. So whether it be Team 4 on the left or Team 7 on the right, their goal is to have that red flag reach their side. And now very shortly, the pulling will begin.
I like that we can see this mouse cam view. It's going to be quite interesting to see sort of the strategies that people use. We saw a player who just got tired, unfortunately, and weren't able to fully finish it off. As we begin our round, just as a reminder, on the left, we have Team 4. On the right, we have Team 7. Now showing on the screen, of course, the flag, the red flag on the UI, on the top center there, guys. If it's leaning towards Team 4, that means Team 4 is winning. If it's leaning towards Team 7, that means Team 7 is winning. And of course, we are dead in the middle. We are not even budging.
Actually, the exact same amount of clicks for both teams. Not going to either Team 4 or 7's side. It is an absolute standstill here.
Oh my gosh, it's not even like wiggling around. It is just completely stuck in that center bit there.
This is crazy. Lonche has background music on, just saying, you know, don't get tired. You don't have to go as fast as possible yet. Just make sure you're maintaining a solid rhythm consistently and to not get tired.
That is absolutely right. It seems like we're seeing a little bit of a shake on the red flag there. Seems like it's leaning towards Team 7. Team 7 having that ever so slightly boost just from the get-go here, but it seems to be evening out already, kind of heading back towards that center there. This is going to be the most intense round, as it is our final round of today.
Yes, this will decide the last 10 players to get eliminated, but also the last 10 to move on. As I don't even know if I can say this is a Team 7 advantage at this point with how close it is to the center. This is going to come down to stamina once again, and which team can hold on longer.
That is absolutely right. This is what I have learned, is that this is a game of stamina. If you get tired for a split second, you better start using your other hand or something, because you cannot let go for even a split second. Team 7 is already starting to lose their head start here that they had, but it is very quickly sort of bouncing back.
I don't even know how this one's going to end. Normally in the previous games, one of the teams had a quick advantage, starting to pull it towards their side. We've had back and forths where they stop clicking as fast, they lose that momentum, but this has basically been a dead center standstill as we get a bit closer to Team 7's side. But it's not moving much.
You can see this team locking in, saying, don't stop. Go as hard as you can.
It worked too. If you look at it, Team 4 was starting to lose a little bit, and you heard turbo, and they started clicking significantly faster, which actually caused the rope to go more in their favor. But the issue is, how long can they hold that turbo speed for?
That's absolutely right. I don't know. I would wanna try this myself to see how long I can last just infinitely clicking my mouse.
Pablo saying it's all about consistency. It's okay, just keep the rhythm up. But to be fair, I mean, Team 4 was doing consistency and they started losing, which caused them to go extra fast, and now they are in the lead. But it seems that I continue to do exactly that, and it's working out quite well.
Los futbolitos here. Sometimes making faces towards the screen does help. That is what we are learning from this, because Futbolitos is on Team 7 here, and they're trying to avoid that flag, continuing to move towards that Team 4 side. It is already back to the center and leaning towards Team 7 again. The switch up is intense.
Gotcha. You can see as he gets closer and closer, he is absolutely locked in, jitter clicking as fast as humanly possible, as it's just going back and forth.
The flag is not deciding. It can't decide. Team 4, Team 7, I don't know. Let's go back and forth and get the best of both worlds.
This is insane. A mental battle alongside the physical one. Just being able to keep your body moving, clicking at that consistent rhythm longer than your opponents. As Team 4 now slightly takes the lead. Can they hold on to it though, as Team 7 feels the pressure and boosts themselves further, but it just keeps going back and forth.
The flag cannot decide where to go at this point. Each team being as ruthless as possible, clicking as fast as they humanly can. Team 4 gaining huge advantage for a split second there, but the flag is still kind of tweaking out a little bit. It doesn't want to budge.
It's kicking in though. You can see Barca's face. He's saying you just got to go as fast as possible now. Let's close it out, team. We're getting closer and closer to the end. This is it. We have to give it our all. But they might have gotten tired from going as fast as they possibly can, and it's caused the consistency from Team 7 to start pushing it closer towards the center.
Team 7 is not giving up at all. The red flag was nearly at that sort of construction bar on Team 4, but it's already flipped sides over to Team 7 again. Los Futbolitos getting excited, locking in. Look at their mouse view there.
I love the consistency. You can see Futbolitos, his teammate right behind him, saying the game's here. It's in the mind. This is a mental game, not a physical one. You have to keep that rhythm going, but it's right back on to Team 4.
Team 4 and Team 7 have watched all the other players get eliminated, and they said, we are not going to make that same mistake. Neither one of these teams want to let go, as the flag already starts heading back towards Team 7, but it can't decide. It's bouncing. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It wants to stay in the middle. I say we call it a draw. That's just me.
The rope snaps. Neither team falls. Sun and death. As we are right back where we started, in the dead center, with no clear victor in path.
Oh my, I actually cannot believe how much this flag is not wanting to make a decision here. Neither team is letting go even for a split second. Team 4 is currently in the lead, but who knows, maybe in the next few seconds, Team 7 will take it back. The Donato here, sort of doing a gamer lean. Oh my gosh, you can see the pain that these players are experiencing, as they're even having, like, their faces are changing as they're going through pain. Team 4 gaining a huge gap just now.
This could be it. Soypan starting to scream, trying to tell his team it's time once again. Hit that adrenaline, get that rush, get that blood pumping. It's time to close it out.
Standing up.
Is Team 4 going to be able to do it? Donato stands up. He's on his feet as he wants to bring his opponents down in the water. But you have to be careful as Team 7 is starting now.
I
to get a comeback
believe.
once again. Are you kidding me?
How much
as we
this
get back
flag
to
is
the
moved.
center.
Wow. You can see los futbolistas here. His friend is on his knees.
I can't believe this.
Team 7 is taking the here right now. Are they going to be able to commit to that?
Oh.
Pereira or Pereira.
You can hear the clicks. You can look. I can't even see his eyes. I could just see his mouth, but I know how locked in he is.
I'm in pain watching this. I'm going to be honest.
Element, fully focused, as Team 7 now has the biggest lead I believe they've had throughout this whole round. Can they close it out though? Team 4 has been in this position multiple times, unable to finish it off. Will Team 7 now be able to do so, as they have to be careful? Team 4 is locked in once again.
Team 7, oh my gosh, ruthless as ever, not letting go for even a split second here. The red flag can't make its own decision, but Team 7 is getting a big heads up here, nearly touching that construction bar at the end. Is Team 7 about to take it? I don't know. It keeps sort of moving around. It's so hard to tell.
This could be it. We inch our way closer and closer, but right as I say it, Team 4 in once again. Can they bring it towards the center? Los Futbolitos doing what they can. We've had players stand up, sit down, do anything they can to try and maximize their clicks here. But at this point, we've been going on so long, they have to be getting tired. How long can their fingers continue clicking?
That's right. You can see their faces are getting red. They are fully locked into this game. Who would have thought a Minecraft event would turn into some sort of physical event where it comes down to having the stamina. It comes down to having the will, to wanting to continue to do this.
You can see Barca Gamer. They were talking about sensitivity. You don't want your sensitivity too high, because when you're jitter clicking, your mouse moves a little bit. And you want to keep it as stable as possible onto the rope. Team 4, will this be the time they close it out? I heard the guillotine, I heard the noise, and it looks like Team 4 is going to close the last round of the day.
Player 180 eliminated. Player 100.
It all happened so fast.
88.
And yet at the same time, it took so long.
What a way to close out. Rain, I want to know your thoughts.
I mean, from standing to what felt like, you know, the warm-up, the chaos, the intensity of the final moment. Natalia there wiping her brow, putting her hands onto her head, saying, did we really just do this? What a moment as well for these players to get through what I think they felt was truly an earned victory. A lot of these other challenges had a little bit of luck, a little bit of alliance. This one, it was just raw physicality, and more than that, it was intention and focus. And I love that we get to see this on display in Survival Cup. Jojo, you said it best. Who would have expected this type of physical exertion in a Minecraft Survival Cup? Not me. I'm sure not our chat. But these players have risen to the occasion.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Minecraft has evolved so much throughout the years, and trust me, I know what it is like to jitter click quite a lot, because it was quite necessary in the old combat of Minecraft. But nowadays, you don't really need to be fast at clicking in order to win PvP fights. You need to click slow. So I'm sure a lot of these players, especially people who have been playing Minecraft for a long time, maybe they weren't prepared to be clicking as fast as they needed to in order to succeed in this minigame. And me personally, I don't really work out too much, so I don't think I would have been very prepared for a jitter clicking battle.
Definitely a difficult one, as now we have our 50 remaining players, and we say goodbye to Team 7. 07s for Ricky, Maximus, Garachev, Panpot, Zampite, Corco, Pereira, Agustin, Los Futbolitos, and Stacks have all gone down as Team 4 makes their way to the main room.
Back into this very plain white room that brings a little bit of unease to the players, but I'm sure everyone here is feeling quite happy as today seems to have concluded.
My goodness. Well, if there was ever a time for something, it is time for the State Farm Spotlight, where we shine a bright light on something special from today's action. Chat, earlier in the show, you selected Trust Pays Off. Hannah XX Rose diffuses the bomb for this segment, and now it's time to light it up. Roll it.
109 shapes on your backs have changed.
All right, this is our, unfortunately, last time we'll be seeing Hannah here as she has gone out, but this was a moment that continued her legacy. She certainly had an impact here in the Survival Cup 3.
Oh, that's right. This game was extremely intense, needing to be trusting of people and locking it in. You can see she was relieved to have passed it on there.
And helping others as well. That's a great way to do it. Hannah XX Rose, thanks for all that you've done in this competition and all of the players who have been highlighted by State Farm. Before we get back to gameplay, let's shine one more quick spotlight on our friends at State Farm. Whether in-game or in real life, State Farm is on your level. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And you know what? Let's head to break because I want to know who's going to be here at the end of the tally. 50 players have gone home. 50 are still alive for day 5. Let's hit it up after the break and find out who. Chat, we make tons of memories every year on Twitch Rivals, between our streamers, amazing gameplay, and all of the other things in between. And with the help of Intel, we've been celebrating the best ones as Intel's core memories. Each show, we select the defining moment from the day, which is forever immortalized in our Intel Core Memories yearbook. Here is today's Intel Core Memory.
Necesitarás la ayuda de otro jugador. Una vez introducido el número, valida la respuesta con el botón rojo. Por favor, espere. Nuevo desafío. Sigue las instrucciones. Selecciona la forma correcta utilizando el manual de instrucciones. Una vez seleccionada, valida la respuesta con el botón rojo.
Elías, que tengo la espalda, Storm, que tengo la espalda,
Que tengo en la espalda.
Lino, vente a la esquina.
Que tengo en la espalda.
Tienes una cruz violeta.
Por favor, espere.
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
66.
¡El primero!
¡Felicitaciones!
Well, that's your Intel Core Memory for Survival Cup 3 Day 4. As 2024 comes to a close, we'll soon be kicking off a bracket-style contest where you and chat will decide the Intel Core Memory of 2024. Intel's Core 14th Gen processors and Intel Arc graphics allow gamers to stream, create, and compete at the highest levels. Gaming happens with Intel. Well, what a day. I feel like we haven't talked much today, guys, because it's been living in the moment. This is the first day of competition where I felt like there was not ample downtime and it was fast, frenetic action that stood up to be as exciting as we hoped it would be, JoJo.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 50 eliminations in one game. We not only reached double digits in remaining players, and we also just cut it in half completely. We went down to 50 players remaining, which is going to be ridiculous because that means once we go back into the dorms, it's going to look a little empty in there.
Unfortunately so. Yeah, 50 players left. I wonder what the players are going to be doing now in the dorms. Are they going to be going to bed? Is there going to be a surprise nighttime? So many things can still happen. But, you know, with 50 players left, I think they should get a bit of time to rest.
Yeah, I was gonna add, sorry, if there was a nighttime at this point, that would just be brutal, all right? I think they deserve some rest.
Yeah, I don't think we could do that to them, to be fair. Although I am not in control, we would have to ask the game masters. But, you know, heading closer to getting back into game and seeing where that transition takes place, I'm sure these players do not feel like they're out of the woods yet. They want to see sunlight. They want to see a paved road. They want to know I am no longer in the danger zone. I can go to sleep and I can rest without any more games. Obviously easier said than done, but I have a feeling that while they may have breathed a bit of exhale, a breath of exhale, an exhaled breath beforehand, they now are still holding it until the night completely ends and the guards say goodbye. We'll see you in day number 5.
That is absolutely right.
Looking at the screen here, I think we have an imposter among us.
What is Comanche here?
As a participant outfit on. Interesting. Wonder what they're talking about there.
Our local psychiatrist has made it.
Yes, this is good for the remaining 50 players, as now it is incredibly empty, and I'm sure that that is going to be mentally draining for a lot of our remaining participants here.
That's right. I mean, I'm just looking over this room, and it is looking incredibly empty. There's maybe a few groups formed here and there, but overall, there's not a lot going on. But alas, we shall go into a cinematic now.
Let's see how this closes out.
Of course, we need our daily update of the players and the cash.
That's how we came in today. 121 players, $42,500.
Much congratulations to everyone who has won throughout this day. Of course, they're updating the cash amount and the player amount.
We're gonna go for a while.
It will be our biggest deposit yet.
That's absolutely right. We can actually peek the number just under the piggy bank there. $75,000 are confirmed as of today.
The scoreboard indicates the number of players remaining and the amount of prize money accumulated so far.
What a way to close out day 4 of the 3rd Survival Cup. On the left-hand side of the screen, too, you see all the players that have been eliminated, the ones who are still up. And that is a terrifying list to look at.
I will say, guys, it's looking a bit empty, especially when you consider 3 days ago what this all consisted of. 200 players now down to 50 with $75,000 in the piggy bank. Oof.
I would take a dive into that piggy bank. I would do it.
How would you get up there, though?
Well, someone's been able to do it. Yeah, we've seen 3 people do it, right? I could figure it out myself as well. Of course, now we have a timer counting down from 2 minutes as we count down to, I believe, the end of the day. Everyone's saying their goodbyes and sort of decompressing on what happened today.
This is kind of where the feel starts to kick in, though. You know, you could potentially take this home. You're getting closer and closer to being able to win now. With just 50 players left, you've survived a majority of these rounds. And now there's just going to be 2 days left for you to close it out.
That is absolutely right. Donato talking about how much he sweat just in this Minecraft event, which honestly is pretty impressive. Even I was starting to sweat, and I'm just sitting here watching. So to be one of the players who had to jitter click or butterfly click or do whatever sort of strategy it was that they came up with in order to survive that final game, whew, I'm sure they're sweating it out.
Scramble Blitz, one of the surviving creators as well. Scramble Car.
Totally besides the point, but I love her background.
Very nice.
Oh.
And the traditional football celebration there. I get it. I love it.
I get it, dude.
Celebrate, guys. You earned it.
News. Yes, they have. 10 seconds until the light goes out. No broken bottles in hand. It's the call for a nice little celebration to close out the day.
All right, that gives you a little bit of a showcase of what is yet to come. Remember that fishing icon in the dorm? Well, it seems like that might have something to do with tomorrow. We've got more coming up, a recap, some golden khakis, and a preview of day 5 right after this break.
Well, well, well. TwitchRivals Survival Cup 3 did not disappoint, especially in day 4. And we've still got 2 days remaining. I'm your host, Rain Day, alongside JoJo Solos and Takata for the action so far after 4, but we're just wrapping up today and taking a look at some of our favorite moments, as well as getting a sneak peek at what might happen tomorrow. With that sneak peek, we saw a little bit of a cinematic, JoJo, that gave us an eye that maybe some fishing could be involved in what the competitors have to go through to survive yet another day.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little ruthless, all right? We saw one of the guards sort of get sucked into the water there. So, I mean, if even the guards aren't safe, I'm sure the competitors tomorrow might be struggling a little bit. But of course, not everyone is getting eliminated tomorrow because we still have day 6 to prepare for.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm nervous for these players now, because with only 50 players left, you know that they're going to be, you know, trying to think, okay, is it time to kind of stick with my alliance, my group? We've made it past 2 teams of 5 mini games. We've now taken home, you know, the tug of war kind of rope pulling mini game. Is it time to continue that, or should we maybe take our solo route?
Well, the games usually decide all of that, and the players, they decide how they're going to participate. Will they find the right path early, or will they struggle along the way? Sometimes it comes down to the very last moment, and it did with the person we're about to interview right now. But he's been in our minds for a couple of reasons, maybe had a chance for redemption. I'm talking, of course, about Shadoon, who is joining us here to close out the show. Shadoon, congratulations on making it past day 4 to day 5. There we go. Vamos, vamos.
Vamos, aguanta Perú, aguanta los hispanos.
Capitán Perú.
Hola.
Shadoon, how are you doing, man? Congratulations on making it to day 5. We've been talking about your story a lot because of how close you were to winning Survival Cup already. And I wanted to highlight a moment after you found out you survived the last mini game, where it felt like emotion came over you. What was going on in your mind, in your head at that moment? Can you let us know what that emotion was all about?
Okay, yeah, great question, because like there's actually so much going on like on my mind in the game. Like it was the rope game. It was the same one as in Survival Cup like 1, I guess. And it's a really hard game where we have to click a lot, and we got against the best team. There was Qualify, there was Markilo Kuras, Oli Gamers that won Survival Cup 1. And I thought, okay, we can win. We have a great team, but we are against the best of the best. Like Cody is a friend of mine. He's crazy. And I was really scared. And like we were winning all around, but like we couldn't just finish it. And sometimes the bar was going back, and it was so scary. And then I was clicking so much, and then we won. And I don't know, I think to cry, because it's like, okay, I did it. I got top 50 in day 5, and it's really sad to lose, I think, in this game, because we all have the opportunity to go to day 5, day 6, but like I don't know, you get 10 team of 10, and half the people die in this game. It's really easy, like everyone can die, and I just passed that, so it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you put it perfectly. Just the further you go into it, the more sort of it hurts that if you get eliminated before you get into day 6. So I totally understand. I almost cried with you when I saw you started crying, I'm going to be honest.
Really?
But my question
awesome.
for you is, yeah, no, it was incredible. It was a great story. But how are you going to prepare for day 5 now that you know you're in the top 50? It's getting serious now.
We did it. Okay, yeah, it's getting really serious. Top 50 is kind of crazy. Like we started with 120 people basically, and like 70 people died. So it's getting serious. Okay, so I think, well, what I do is I do like freeways, like for the next games. So the next one is a fishing game, it seems. We don't really know about it. And the next one might be like a trivia game or something, because there's a brain. And I'm thinking like, do you know Play Quiz? It's like a channel that does like quiz, like random quiz. I'm thinking like watching 4 hours of Play Quiz. So to know everyone, like if there's a trivia, I know all the answers.
Yeah, well, maybe
but I don't know,
like
it might not be trivia, you know? We don't know.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like a Minecraft trivia or something like that. And, you know, speaking of
Let's hope so.
practicing, Shadoon, so, you know, Survival Cup 2, maybe you have a bit of flashbacks from that event. You got second place. So I want to know 2 questions. One, is there anything you've done to prepare for those final moments if you were to make it again? And my second question is, are you going to win Survival Cup 3?
Wow, good questions. Really, I didn't train anything specifically for last day because I don't know if I'm in the final day yet, and we don't even know what's the finals, even though we can't guess that it could be the same thing as in last Survival Cup. But the good thing is last year I played a lot of English-speaking events with a lot of really good players, so I think I got better. I got better at Minecraft. So that's cool, you know. I played a lot of MCC, Block Wars that are really great Minecraft events of the English community, and I got really lucky to be invited in them, and I think I got better. So I won't actually play PvP today. I'm really focusing like each day onto the next. But if I'm going into day 6, I will practice a lot. I can't get second again.
Yeah, you'll be ready for it. Shadoon, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your heart, your emotion, you know, your strategy, and your joy here with us in the interview. It's great to see you back at it, surviving to 50. Who knows what day 5 will bring, but good luck, and we do hope to see you.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you later, Shadoon.
See you at the end.
All right. Wow. Great energy there, Takata, and a great question as well. He didn't say he was going to win, but, you know, keeping his expectations tempered, and so far it's worked out for him.
Yeah, I like he was kind of saying, you know what, okay, if I make it past day 5, then it's time to practice, you know, a bit of PvP and stuff. He doesn't want to get ahead of himself. He wants to, you know, just keep on going, play it like he has been the last 4 days, and hopefully that works out for him.
Taking it day by day.
That's right. That's all you can do here in Survival Cup, because you got to just pass the next day in order to make the next one. But only 2 days left. Chat, that means big things are happening tomorrow, so you want to stay tuned. However, it's time to select the winner of State Farm Golden Khakis Award. And to give a quick thanks to our good neighbors at State Farm, an official supporter of TwitchRivals. Earlier in the show, you selected today's Golden Khaki Award category as the most surprising neighbor. Here are today's nominees.
A has rung the bell.
All right, we got Sylvie's clip here. She's obviously in a position, guys. This was a fun game as well. Sylvie trying to ring the bell and finally gets it at the end to continue the run. So that was huge. Sylvie getting the action. And then, of course, going back to Lucky Coin, guys, Serpius. That final style dive to make it. This was huge, JoJo.
That's right. This is when he had a huge group of people sort of protecting him from all the other players who were trying to get that coin. And it was such a beautiful moment to unfold. Just a lot of teamwork here that ended up working out.
Here's a final defuse. This was from earlier, Tokata.
Oh yeah, you can see how stressed a lot of these players were when they had to deactivate the bomb. He didn't even know if he'd done it himself. The look in his eyes as the player counter started getting lower and lower, and he knew if he wasn't able to defuse this bomb, it would have been over.
And last but not least, stamina check. Yeah, this is Barca Gamers win, and this got so many hearts pumping, fingers clicking, minds racing.
You can see the red flag not wanting to make a decision just yet, and then finally locking in for that first team there.
One of my favorite things to see, guys. Go ahead, guys. Those are the finalists. Now it's time to vote, jump in the poll, and decide who is today's Golden Khakis Trophy winner. I'm not going to lie. Does anyone stand out to you? I know that for me, the final moment, that Barca Gamer clip, that team environment just reminds me of sports. It got physical in Minecraft somehow, guys. So I really love that. That 100%. Felt like the biggest yell. I felt like I was in a crowd of thousands after that one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaning towards Sylvie's clip because it seemed like there wasn't much communication with the team there. She just decided, I'm taking this for the team. I'm going to make this happen for us. And it ended up working out. She did that dive, and it was pretty epic.
All right, well, the results are ready. Chat, what have you decided is the Golden Khakis moment for today? Congratulations to the final dive. Serpius qualifies last in style. I can understand this one too, because while the energy from Barca Gamer was there, Serpius's last minute qualification was the end of what might have been the most epic underwater coin fight in Minecraft history. It felt like 5 minutes and 30 to 40 people involved to finally make it. Serpius grabs that one. Congratulations to you. And remember, whether in-game or in real life, State Farm is on your level. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, guys, as we look to wrap up day number 4, I can't believe I'm saying it. Day 5 is coming up tomorrow. I want to give you guys a chance for final thoughts, highlights, or anything that you're looking forward to as we get into our second to last day of Survival Cup 3. Jojo?
Yeah, I'm particularly excited to see what sort of alliances are even left, because as we saw today, we unfortunately had to say goodbye to a grand majority of the players who were still left. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of alliances have started sort of falling apart. Some may be forming, but kind of on thin ice, where they're kind of like, we're alliances until I can break it off. But we're gonna see that drama unfold tomorrow. That's what I'm looking forward to personally.
Yeah, I mean, overall, that's the issue, right? With only 2 more days left after this, it's going to be difficult for the players to decide if they want to stay with their same team or if they want to, you know, go kind of the more lone wolf route and avoid having to betray them later on, because eventually that is what you'll have to do if you want to end up winning. So if you have the heart for that or not is definitely going to be seen in these next couple days.
Well, great shouts from both of you today. Everyone in chat, we appreciate you. And you know how we end the show. It's time for our special version of a raid launcher, where we get to launch this channel by selecting one of the random participants who are still live and sending you all over that way. The cool thing is we'll also add 25 gifted subs to the lucky winner. So it's time to launch that raid. Let's see who it is.
Drum roll. Let's see. We haven't guessed it yet. I want to hear your guesses once again.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Okay,
Shadoon. You know what? Let's do it. Let's all ride the Shadoon boat. Let's see if he gets it. Come on.
Not even close,
man. Congratulations once again.
Ernest Barbecue, congrats. This launcher is going all over there. But you know what? It couldn't be a show like Twitch Rivals without all of our amazing production, our amazing talent, Jojo Solos and Takata. We've got 2 more days going. And of course, all of you in chat keeping Twitch Rivals alive. Shout out to Saul Problemo, who lost his very first mini game for the Honda chat. I expect to see you in there tomorrow getting your wins. And thank you guys. I've been Rain Day. Remember to never give up, never stop gaming. We'll see you all for Survival Cup 3, Day 5, mañana.